I wait, the call never comes. It's been like 2 days, the call never comes. Maybe he's not serious about it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. All of a sudden, I'm on streams. He starts calling me when I'm on streams. I'm like, is he? I don't know what's going on again. So I DM him after the fact. I'm like,
fuck
hey,
DarksydePhil.
It's like stupid telephone phone tag.
Begging
the guy
waste
won't
man.
even contact me to talk about what he wants to offer me when I'm available. Right? So at that point, I'm like, let me figure out what this is. And I talked to my wife about it. And we sat down. I was like, sounds to me like he wants me involved in a project. I don't know what it is. And my wife says, you know.
Down my stream.
About him, right? I was like, of course I know about him. Everyone knows about KEEMSTAR. And we talked.
Yeah, my computer's going crazy.
Talked about it seriously. And we're like, right now, $50,000. If this was real.
It is real. What do you... I hate this guy so much. Oh!
It would put us, back, jump ahead, almost square one, I would say. With all the things that are going on financially behind the scenes. And, when at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for the business. You got to do what's best for everything.
So what? Are you above 50K or not? Answer the question.
If this were someone who I felt had, like, my best interest in mind.
So you're above 50K. You'd rather beg your fans for flipping donations to pay bills. Is that what you'd rather do? Huh?
But this is a guy who has a history of online. He gets you involved in something. And then everything he does is for his own personal gain, and it doesn't matter how much he hurts you.
So you're above the 50K, basically. You're above it. Okay. You're too good for
there
it.
was no offer to me. Of
Moral Phil. Principles DSP.
Right. So, okay.
Oh,
and then just
I hate this guy.
It sounds like there's miscommunication.
I hate him.
Yes.
Right? If we were to get KEEMSTAR on the show right now, and kind of walk through this, because I'm very intrigued.
Please get KEEMSTAR on the show.
More about this project. Would you be open to that?
Absolutely not. Not after all the stuff that happened after that.
Okay, so you would not be open to talking to him right now.
I'm never going to do business with KEEMSTAR. Not after the things I now know about him.
Oh my God! Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Then I'll delete my tweet that I was about to send asking KEEMSTAR to come on the show. I didn't send a tweet out, just so you know. I was going to.
Of course.
Here's the thing. You could say it's a difference between short-term gain and long view, right? I feel like having any association with that guy in the long term is just going to hurt rather than help. I feel like it's going to be even more trolls.
So you'd rather beg your fans for grocery money. That's what you're rather saying then. Okay, cool.
Factual evidence.
Makes sense, brother.
Creates.
I don't want to worry about. I don't want to talk about KEEMSTAR. I want to say you should use that mentality towards money. It seems like, you're holding him on that, but instead in your own world, I'm just saying it's just going to help you out. I feel weird because it feels like I'm like lecturing you, but I'm just like, I'm the type of person, my friends called me an honest asshole, and I'm cool with it. Like, I don't mind. I'm blunt. I'm freaking vicious sometimes, and
DSP has no friends.
Just seems,
tell him.
You're being really raw here, and honestly, props to that. So
tell him.
Yeah, major props for sure.
This is who I am. So I just feels like.
No, I take no offense from anything, and I appreciate all of the input. I really do. Having conversations like this can only help.
Well, so how do you square the idea of not taking KEEMSTAR's money, but taking it from your audience?
Exactly.
You may not know. Maybe they're slinging crack. Maybe your audience, you don't know where that money's coming from, right? They may be getting it morally in a way that you may not agree with morally. How do you square yourself with that? Maybe that I think everybody, if you have a sizable audience online, you deal with people who are favorable people, and you also have some unfavorable people in your audience.
Fuck
right?
This guy.
And they may get money from other ways. So how do you square that in your brain with KEEMSTAR versus unknown money?
I don't equate the two. Like, KEEMSTAR money is, I'm taking money for a direct project that apparently is going to be a long-term business relationship with this guy. I'm associating myself with a guy who I don't respect, don't like the content he puts on the internet, versus people who watch me, like who I am, like what I stand for, want to support that effort to keep it going. You know, my crowdfunders are the people who allow me to do this for a living 15 years later. I'm a small-time guy, but I can still make a living doing it while others of my size can't because of the amount of support that I get.
Because you beg
so much. They know that. I tell
you
them every
beg,
day,
you
thank
beg
you so
and
much
plead.
for allowing me to keep doing what I feel is meaningful for you guys, and what you tell me is
you
meaningful.
manipulate, you lie.
But here's
that's
the
why
thing.
they give it to you.
And this is an interesting point.
Oh,
As
someone
so who's
much.
crowdfunded, mostly, you know, it's mostly income coming in from streams, ad revenue from people watching ads, all of that. This is a question for you guys too, I guess. This is interesting.
Sure.
Can you be held accountable for your viewership? Correct? Like, for example, right now, the G2s.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that they're all upstanding individuals, right? You always want that, but you don't know what they're all doing, right?
Sure.
Do you micromanage your G2s and say, well, you know, there's someone who's nice on my stream and they come by every day, and I just found out, I went to their Twitter to find out that they're a horrible person. They say racist things on their Twitter all the time.
Are you defending Derek?
If someone came to you,
are you defending Derek?
That, would you say, "Oh, I gotta ban them from my community now"?
Hate him so much.
On their own personal Twitter.
No, it's censorship. I don't.
Yeah, that's censorship, and I don't agree with that either. But I do think that it starts and stops with expectations, right? Your expectations, and it starts with leadership, right? Whether you like it or not, I think that you are the leader of your community. You are the people that everyone looks to on how somebody should act, how somebody should interact with other people in your chat. How you are the flag bearer of how what the community should be like, right? So I think ultimately your community emulates the host. And
that being said, I do say I absolutely understand not wanting to go into business with someone that you don't respect.
Yes,
I personally know many different people that are very successful that I don't respect, and I'm like, couldn't be happier not working with them. Right.
Exactly.
I mean,
that is exactly
real
my
ones. No.
There with Keem.
Yeah. I mean, I get that.
So let's kind of let's kind of dig into this a little bit, right? So where's the line, right? When you have, let's just say you have a community member that you know via their Twitter. Let's just say they are selling coke, right? They're selling illegal drugs, whatever. Don't you want to be like, hey man, like, I'm not into that. Like, there's visual evidence of them doing something bad or at least alluding to something negative, something that would be shunned in a normal society, right? But you know they're a part of your community.
What's he gonna say? Go on. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
You know, and once again, they're coming into their community potentially.
Use the example of Derek, please, please.
Potentially bleeding that into the community. I don't think you censor them, but maybe have a conversation about it.
That guy's a freak.
I agree. It's
what?
a line of, is it influencing you and your content in your community or not? So I think we're going towards a certain topic. I don't know if there's a particular person you may be referencing, Craig.
I'm not going to reference any specific community members. That's not what this is not about. This is not about, specific community members. We're here to talk to you.
Okay.
I want to actually address something real quick. So Keem actually just tweeted and responded to what you had just said, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to read his tweet. Keem, he said, DSP is lying in this live interview. I called Phil at the agreed times, and he ignored my calls and claimed later he was at work. He ignored my calls for $50K up front for the Low Cow podcast to stream to under 200 live viewers, begging for them to pay his rent and his utility bills. Both Wings and Boogie agreed to Low Cow podcast. The only reason it didn't happen was because of DSP. Thoughts? Response?
It's a blatant lie. He called me when I was on stream. I looked at my phone when I was on stream, wondering why I was getting a phone call. After the fact, I realized that was KEEMSTAR calling me when I was on live streams. It's just blatantly false. I gave him the times. I said there was time frames between streams he could call. At one day, I actually sat here for an hour in my office.
Businessman Phil, if you don't call him at Pacific time, he can't answer the phone.
Well, if it's not true, he's gonna post, when you were streaming in the phone call.
Exactly.
And if not, then
you're gonna lie.
Pretty easily provable.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
he never. I tell you right now, to my knowledge, he never actually called me when during the times that we talked when he was available.
So you can't answer the phone. You can't stop the stream for $50K.
That's all I can say.
You can't pause the stream
after the fact.
and tell your audience.
Here's the thing.
I've got a $50K opportunity. You can't do that.
As I told you guys, I personally have issues with the guy and the content he puts out. I do. So at the very least, knowing it's in my family's best interest to have the conversation.
What family?
Find out what
you have a
the
wife and a
conversation
cat.
is about,
That's
at
not a
least,
fucking
to
family.
find out, you know.
You piece of shit.
But he wouldn't even have the conversation. So if the conversation doesn't take place, of course.
Family. What family?
If you can't even have the call,
you don't even hang out with your wife.
Could you ever enter a business relationship
your
with someone
declawed.
for a big amount of money, for a big commitment of time, or whatever it was going to be? You know, it just didn't make any sense.
God damn it, man! I fucking hate this guy.
Okay.
And by the way, Boogie, I've talked with Boogie behind the scenes. He really wanted me to be on the show, but I told him personally, I can't do it, man. I can't do anything.
I can't do it, man.
I'd
rather beg, man. I'd rather beg for tips.
Business with what he stands
to take my wife out for a meal once a day,
crazy.
Once a week. Right. I'd rather beg for tips. I'm the kind of guy that
if I can help it, I won't shop at Walmart. Okay, why? Because I hate that company. The company has destroyed small businesses, little towns. Right?
You destroy people's lives, bro. You take their savings and their disability money and you spunk it all on WWE champions.
That's the kind of guy I am. Maybe that's a huge flaw with me.
You're worse than Walmart.
I'm not going to take money. I would feel like taking a paycheck from KEEMSTAR is kind of like blood money. That's money he made on the
You have no blood.
Drama content.
You're a soulless ghoul.
I'm not going to do
You have no blood.
Didn't you start your career on like drama and hate?
But not against people. I will say this. I never, if I could help it.
But the people in the Street Fighter community, like that's who you said you were targeting.
Oh, okay, that's different. And here's the thing. You're right.
How's that different?
It's different because I've changed now.
You can change, but they can't. You can change.
You sound like the abusive ex-boyfriend trying to get back with his girl. I've changed now. Don't worry about it.
You can change.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just calling it as I said. It just sounds funny like hearing that. Yeah. That I changed now. That line is so I don't know, overused by the
I was
wrong
an online
people.
troll in the Street Fighter community. Absolutely. There was online harassment that happened. Absolutely. I've learned from that. I've been through it myself now.
Learning Phil.
How harmful that is.
Businessman Phil.
Especially when you're someone in a position of power.
Cool.
As an audience,
yeah.
People to
whatever, man.
Against people. That's so harmful to them. I would never do that for personal gain anymore, ever again. And taking that money from KEEMSTAR, I feel like I'm taking money from other people who've been hurt in order to benefit. I can't do that.
Have you reached out to anybody that you feel that you wronged in the Street Fighter community to let them know that you changed and that you're sorry?
Well, the people from back then, I would have absolutely no idea how to contact, but I have publicly said things. For example, last year I did a react to the Down the Rabbit Hole video about me. This is by Frederick Knudsen. It was millions and
Frederick
views.
fucking Knudsen again.
Everyone was watching. It was in 2017. It covers all my early years as a YouTuber, but also my career in the Street Fighter community. And I admitted publicly how bad I was back then with all.
Shut up.
On to people, because look, the more I make fun of this guy or the more I try to attack these people, I get over, right? And it caused so much drama. We almost fought at Evo. It's so stupid. Now I look at it, I'm like, boy, I was dumb.
You didn't know what's fault. You nearly got beat up. Big difference. Wrestler. You didn't fight. Oh man, they nearly beat you up. You're gonna have big rivalries at fighting game championships. It's the dumbest shit.
Right. So
is this long Tran?
I don't know. You tell me, because that's the thing. Like these people are not hard to get a hold of, and these DMs are open. So like I feel like that's pretty disingenuous to say like, well, it's more like you don't want to put forth the effort in saying that, I'm going to say this publicly, and it's a big blanket to cover all the things that I've done wrong. When if you know that you've done things that you regret, you should probably reach out to people and say like, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for what I said. Because the reality is that on today's internet, it's not impossible to find these people. It's very easy. And it just comes down to like a little bit of effort. And
I'm not
saying that you're not, but I'm saying that maybe there's an opportunity to provide a little more effort.
He doesn't think he does anything wrong.
I never even thought about it like that.
Of course you didn't. 40 years old.
Story. When I was in high school,
you should be ashamed of yourself.
And years later, one of my bullies actually contacted me, like probably around that time frame.
Show the evidence. You're fucking lying.
He found me online.
Press
he contacted me
X
for
doubt.
I just want to let you know.
We gotta stick together. I'm just kidding.
No, he basically said, I'm sorry for what I did to you in high school. Like, I think back on it now, because I've grown and I've matured and I realize what an asshole.
So he can do that, but you can't.
I responded, I said, thanks, but I don't really care. I've moved on with my life. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And that was it. So, to me, I'm so far removed from those days. We're talking 20 years ago. Does this guy care to hear from me 20 years later in a DM?
Yes.
Never even crossed my mind, but you know what? You've made the point. And now I'm gonna have to think about it. I have to think about who.
Oh, think about it. You got to think about it. You fucking prick.
Reach out to. He's definitely probably number one because that was one of the people who.
I have to think about it. Oh my god, this guy's incredible.
Hammering that guy to the point where at the end of Evo, we had a grudge match on stage, and then when it ended, I wanted to shake his hand, and he was so upset he refused to shake my hand because I had trolled him so badly on the internet. He basically was like, irrevocable harm that you've done to me. I'm not going to shake your hand. You're a piece of garbage, right? Now I look at that and I'm like, I probably would have felt the same because I've been through that shit. I'm on the other end of the trolling now, and now I get it, right? But you're right.
Oh, sorry.
I think
it makes sense.
What's your?
Sorry, Netrunner. I forgot to say. Netrunner. Sorry. DSP is a very well-known streamer. He's got like a 14+ year history on streaming, and he's just basically known for being a piece of shit. He begs and pleads his audience for money to pay his rent and his groceries, even though he's got an aggressive gambling addiction that he doesn't want to admit. That he plays this game called WWE Champions, which is basically like what's it called? Anyway, it's a gambling game, innit? That doesn't matter. It's one of those gacha games. And he uses all these fans' money instead to pay bills and whatnot. He uses that money to fucking fund his gambling addiction. And he basically lies and cheats about everything. He's a fucking narcissist. He's a piece of shit. He's a racist. And some people call him a pedo. He's horrible.
He's always pointing his finger. I mean, you really messed up. All right. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I'll say this.
Don't point your finger at me.
I'm not pointing any fingers. Attune for them or do our best. Let's go into WWE champions.
Sure.
Let's go. You liar. We've got evidence. We've got evidence.
With
the bank clicks are there.
They want to know about your experience with this game.
Addict.
Just a
You're
real
gambling
simple
addict. Degenerate gambler.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently still play WWE champions?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so why are you so hesitant to talk about that or to talk about WWE champions? And we'll start there.
Oh, why am I hesitant to talk about WWE champions? Well, the thing is, I wasn't at first. I did talk about it publicly years ago when the game first came out, very innocently. Talked about playing it casually. That I was a fan of wrestling. This is a game that I played. Over the years, every once in a while, I will casually mention a mobile game I'm playing or whatever. But
you spend,
it's nothing that I would think that
all of your money on that game.
To hear about me, what mobile games? I casually will talk about them
because you beg your fans for money.
Let's talk about.
But then you spend it all on a game
today or whatever, right? But what's ended up happening is over the years, every little thing that I mention that's not directly related to my content or my business, what I'm doing on stream, somehow gets twisted into something distorted or messed up by my detractors to make me look bad. And this is a prime example of them, in my opinion, and you can disagree, trying to orchestrate something. Well, just one of the many things, because we can go through a lot of the things.
What are you talking about? What this guy is smoking budge?
But this is one of the things that I never went out of my way to disprove because it's stupid. It's ludicrous. Can I ask
No.
Have you ever spent money on this game?
Of course I have, yes.
Have you spent a lot of money on this game?
Good question. What does a lot mean?
Anything over $100 is too much.
Exactly, you fucking prick.
So,
especially in your position.
Came out, yes, I spent over $100 on it.
Oh my god!
When it first came out.
Oh my god!
On this game now.
Oh my god! You beg and plead your fans for money, but then you spend over $100 on a mobile game.
How good you are at the game?
No. I said I'm versed in the game because I have to know about it because they're freaking put me in conspiracies about it and shit. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
I don't want to know about it.
Then,
how much money have you spent in this game? Do you mind saying?
Total, I couldn't tell you. It's definitely total under $1,000 over the years that it's been in operation.
Lies.
Okay, not over $1,000.
Lies.
No,
because that's not what people think.
That's correct.
I know that you're some sort of a whale in that game.
Oh, I know. I've seen every. I haven't seen every video. I've heard it all. First, it was like thousands, then it was 10,000, then it was 20, then it was 40. Now it's 100, I think. 100,000 supposedly I've spent on this game.
You have.
Well, we started talking about it, and you instantly went into just attacking other people. Like we don't have to, like your detractors. Like they may deserve it. I don't know, but we can have this conversation without even bringing them up.
Sure.
Right. We'll bring them up if they're
Okay.
you're saying you're instantly going to they're making up shit. But you do play this game. You have spent money on it.
Exactly.
And I think what's happening is when you're begging your audience for money and then complaining that this King's Feast is too expensive for a $60 meal, and you're stressing for money, and then putting money into a game that is a mobile game that is, I mean, let's face it, mobile games are not necessary in life.
No
spending any amount of money on a mobile game,
even $1,
I've
you
never
piece
played
of shit.
This WWE, I don't even know. I saw like a picture of it, and it looked like Candy Crush or I don't know what the hell it is, but it just feels like they feel like you're just using them to like using your audience, and like I don't want to be used. I personally, I don't like feeling used. I've been used by people.
Why are you nodding your head like you agree, like you know what they're talking about, you piece of shit?
So when people are watching someone online and supporting them and then feel used, like when, you say you beg too much, and you're working on that, which is good because, as I said, it's not a good look. But even talking about, hey, this other game that they believe you're a whale in, why do they think you're a whale? Where are they getting this?
See, here's the thing. I don't exactly know. There's been so much to this thing over the years that, I'm just going to briefly in my head try to go over what I remember. Apparently, at first, it was that there was an account in the game. That's the name of the account was They Call Me DSP.
Which is your account.
Which is also your Twitter handle.
That's correct. And so just by that association, they're assuming that's me in the game. Okay. Now, from what I'm going to understand after that, I guess at some point it had been asked on a stream or whatever, is this you? And I said, no, that's not me in the game. It is not, by the way. That is not my account in the game.
What is your account in the game?
That I'm not going to say. And if you're going to say why, because back when I signed up for that game in 2017, there had never been any drama around mobile games or anything like that I had been involved in. No one ever asked me the question of what's the name of your account. I have an account name on basically my Apple device that kind of crosses over a lot of different accounts, okay? And if I were to tell you information about my account, these people will absolutely use that to hurt me. They will try to use this data to get into other accounts.
Lies and excuses. Lies and excuses, man.
Identity theft.
Lies and excuses.
Apple, I can't do that. I've already been through that 2 years ago.
So on the record, you're saying that that account
is not yours.
They Call Me DSP is not you.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well,
down for the rafters.
Okay, but here's the thing that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around, right? Because apparently that name was changed later to Down from the Rafters,
which is your name.
Why would somebody, if this is a troll that is a whale, right? That in this game, why would somebody
copy your name?
Let's say after this was brought to your attention, the name is later changed, right? And they're spending all this money on this, right? And they know it's being, it's being tracked in this game.
He's lying. That's
why would they change the name if they're just trolling you with They Call Me DSP, this name? Why would they then change the name if it's just a troll to begin with? What's the point? I'm trying to wrap my head around this idea here.
Sure. Apparently, there's a couple theories. Theory number one is, like you just said, this person was actually a troll who was trying to make me look bad, and
this guy's insane.
That was the theory.
He thinks people are spending 100,000 to make him look bad.
I agree with you. That doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Why would you try to change your name?
You're the one that said it. Why are you telling him it doesn't make sense?
This is me just guessing. I have no clue because this is not me. Maybe this person was a legit player. Maybe it was a fan of mine. Maybe it was who knows? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's complete chance. This is not DarksydePhil. This is not DSP Gaming. This is They Call Me DSP.
It's Darkside Patrick.
Again, who knows? You're right. That's the point. It wasn't my name. It wasn't like Phil Burnell or whatever. It was one name that I use on a Twitter account. So maybe this legitimately was someone who was playing the game and over the years was getting like harassed. I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. Since this started happening, all right, I was afraid that my actual account name was going to get out there, and they were, like I just told you guys, they were going to try to like harass me or change, harass my Apple account, hack my Apple account, whatever. I reached
Phil,
out.
I got to say real quick, if that whoever they call me DSP changed it to whatever the hell they changed it to, why haven't you changed it to some?
That's what I'm about to say. That's exactly what I'm about to say. I asked they have the help chat or whatever. I asked them. I said, listen, this is happening, and I'm really afraid. And they told me they don't do that. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't do name changes. I said, there's evidence that there is. They wouldn't do it for me. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this person, because of the level that they spent supposedly in the game, because they're a whale. Maybe the company did them a solid because they keep spending, and so they did it for them. Apparently, you can't just change your name. There's no option in the game to change your name. I've tried. It's not there. And you contact support. They say, we won't do it.
Okay, look, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. And look, I'm of the mindset of once somebody gives you money, you can do what you want with the money. But
true.
I think that we're here to put all the cards on the table here and work through these things. So when you play this game and you have this whale that has
Fat Samurai, you're right. Who cares what he spends his money on? No one should care. The issue with DSP, you could spend your money on whatever. Like I said, look at my tracker down below. I spend my flipping money on fucking whatchamacallit? On flipping, what's it called? I keep forgetting the name now. Beer and Ket. Do it whatever you want. The issue with DSP is that he complains that he can't pay his mortgage, he can't pay his bills, he can't buy groceries, he's gonna have to eat a lunch meat sandwich, he can't go out for a meal with his wife. He complains he doesn't have money, but then he has a money pit in the background that he's flipping, basically chucking money down the fucking loo. That's the issue. You can spend your money on what you want, buy strippers, buy all the drugs you want, spunk it on whatever the fuck, but don't complain to me that now you can't buy a fucking apple and that you can't buy some juice or some bread to eat or you're hungry. Don't complain about that. I don't want to fucking hear it. That's why he's a fucking piece of shit. That's why he's a piece of shit. He can spend money on what he wants, but he lies about what he spends his money on, and he flipping obfuscates, he embellishes, he exaggerates how much his bills are. He makes it seem like he's the only person in the world that has fucking bills to pay when everyone has them to pay, and he lets his fans and takes advantage of his fans. And his fans, by the way, for the most part, his fans have been supporting him for 14 plus years. Most of them, if you go to certain forums that begin with K and end in farms, you will see what they look like. And they are vulnerable people. Vulnerable people he's taken advantage of. Guys and girls who are on the fringes of society, who are suffering in all ways, shapes and form, who may be getting disability checks. He takes their money and dumps it in a fucking toilet. He's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit.
As the exact same Twitter handle that you have, that is pulling this elaborate troll on you, right?
If that's what it was, I don't know.
Right.
You said it, you dick.
And I
fuck you, man.
I hate to bring this up. But I'm going to, because I feel like it needs to be addressed.
Go for it.
People have been very aggressive with you to the point to where they have leaked bank statements from you, right? And that's obviously not cool at all. It's ridiculous that somebody would go to that length, and it's honestly upsetting. But it's out there
because they hate you. That's why. And you're so hated.
There have been
your bank account.
According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Some many over hundreds of dollars.
It's your account. It's your account, you prick.
Were those your transactions?
No.
Liar!
So those were not tied to you at all.
So who did it then? Who did it?
Okay, the bank leaks. Now we have to get into the identity theft thing, okay?
Oh, I fucking hate this guy.
Well, let's just talk about the bank leaks first.
Talk about the bank leaks first, you dickhead.
They're tied to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they go hand in hand. Those bank leaks...
explain it, yeah.
Sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. That is not my account.
What? Whose account is it then?
The person who took your identity was spending money on in the Apple Store?
No, that's not my account at all.
What?
Whatever that is not me. That's fabricated.
Oh my God!
Someone else's account.
Oh my God!
That's not my account.
Oh my God!
I've had a lot of issues.
Oh my God! The lies. You can DSP, right, streams every single day. He streams every single day. And he talks about his days off. He talks about when he goes grocery shopping. He does all that shit, right? When he streams. He talks about his day, going out with fucking, horse wife, feeding his shitty fucking cat. He talks about it all the time. Everything that he does, what he orders in. People were able to marry up his bank. Again, the bank leaks things was bad. Whoever hacked his account, bad person. Naughty person. You shouldn't do that to somebody. But it happened and it was out there. Somebody was able to match his bank leaks with the times that he said that he went out for dinner with his horse wife. Or the times that he said he bought a certain something and the things married. They linked. They matched up. So if he went on his day off to fucking Wendy's on a Wednesday, there was a fucking charge in his account that said Wendy's on fucking Wednesday. So clearly, if that's right, that means the charges to fucking the Apple iTunes store are real. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Fucking hate him.
Identity theft that same summer, but they use that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory and say that was me, and it's not.
So,
exactly, nut runner. You can't try and out-hustle the internet observers, especially when you're a scumbag. You will eventually get found out. The internet is fucking ruthless. No one cares. They're gonna find you out in the end, and that's what he's finding out. So the fact that he's squirming it brings me joy, satisfaction to see him squirm.
you're saying, just so we're on the same page, you're saying that this account that is not yours, that had thousands of dollars of
look at him lying.
Fees to the Apple Store consistently, that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts in the game that we're talking about, WWE Champions, and it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page.
Exactly.
You're saying that is not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
So whose account is that then?
Awfully convenient.
What are you talking about?
And we're
right.
just right.
You're lying.
But that's the truth.
You can understand how us looking from the outside in looks at this and raises an eyebrow and doesn't quite buy it, right?
To me, I mean, from an outside perspective, who doesn't know anything, would look like
you're lying.
You had to go and file for bankruptcy. You had all these issues and people calling you out for spending way too much money on this game when you should have been saving for taxes.
Exactly.
And then, this shit comes out and you're like, you're freaking sweating. You got to freaking do something about it. It's like, oh, I was hacked. That identity theft. Like, maybe the identity theft happened. I'm just like painting a picture for like these people on the internet that hate you and are trying to convince the world of what happened. And then, like Craig said, I mean, you are playing it. It is your username. There are all these bank statements that actually correlate perfectly with this game.
And there's no your account.
I'm leaning more towards that side of the story because it makes more sense. I mean, you needed an out. You have money issues and have had money issues for a while.
I was hacked,
and it's just like it's hard to believe, dude.
The reason that this story has not died out like every other one is because this is the one that I really don't have a way to prove my innocence without further exposing myself. You understand?
Do you have a police report for the
a
identity
report?
You don't. You can redact certain things.
I did not. I don't have a police report. Geez, how do I?
Did you not go to the police when your identity was hacked?
No, I went to all my financial institutions. I went to the credit bureaus.
You didn't go to the police though when someone was stealing your identity. No. Why wouldn't you do that?
I didn't.
Because it didn't happen.
What would they do?
You prick. So why do you go to the authorities then?
Try to fucking get the person and arrest them for stealing your identity.
I mean, I guess maybe, but here, okay. I guess what I got to do is tell you a little bit more about all the crap I've been through. I have contacted the police about the harassment. No, listen, I have contacted the police about harassment over the years. When I got swatted, years later, when someone was actually doing tons of fake transactions against my PayPal account that were all fraud. They were actually fraudulent credit cards.
Look at him dancing around the thing. Why didn't you call the police, you prick?
And they said, listen. I swear to God, this is the conversation. We don't do that. We don't have an online task force for this stuff. They said the only thing we deal with is human trafficking. That's it. That's all we can do. here's the number to the FBI if you want to call them. But unless you're talking about ginormous sums of money being tossed
So
around,
you did contact them or you didn't?
Not about identity theft. I contacted them years earlier about other issues.
And you talked to them about identity theft?
I talked to them about a lot of different things that had happened or could happen.
Why would you have talked to them about identity theft years earlier if none of that was even happening to you?
Well, I don't know if we specifically said, oh, you know, identity theft. What like I said, there was a case where, first of all, I received death threats. Like,
whoa, death threats.
Okay.
Oh my God, this guy.
Well, that's a completely different subject.
Correct.
Right.
And I contacted them about that. And while I was talking to them, I also brought up PayPal issues that I was having with fraudulent transactions and other things. And they basically said, we don't handle that. We can't. We don't have the capacity. Local PD doesn't care. You have to go, you know, if you want to go to the FBI, but they even said, here's the number.
Exactly, Netrunner. The
really
dude's
bad,
a liar.
You're afraid
That
for your
boy's
life
a
or
liar.
something. You know,
Big up
call us
Pantress.
911. Outside of that,
That boy's
anything
a
else,
liar.
you know, big transactions or whatever, like you lose $1 million, you call the FBI. That's it. So I didn't think, you know, I didn't file a police report about the identity theft because I didn't think they could do anything. They told me years previous there's nothing's going to happen about it.
Well,
you know?
it didn't seem like you were talking about identity theft.
Exactly.
So.
Well, so let me ask this, right?
He's such a liar.
You addressed the bank leaks on a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Why? If they're not yours, why? Why did you feel the need to talk about the bank leaks if they weren't yours?
Well, what do you mean by that? Like, are you referencing a specific stream that I did? Or
just in general. I mean, if somebody hacks an account and they say this is DarksydePhil's bank account, right? Why don't you say, well, it's not mine? What are you even talking about? And like, I did. Okay,
I'm sure that I did. I've never said that was my account.
Then how come? And this is, you know, the internet doing what it does. There's been matchmaking based off of your life, going to restaurants, big events in WWE champions, things like that line up perfectly with this bank account. Like, and I think I said, it's your money, dude. You can do what you want. I don't care. But why, like, it just, if we were in the court of law and somebody was to bring all this evidence in front of, say, like, look, hey, there's a bullet here. Here's the gun that he used. It has his fingerprints on it. This person is dead because this person pulled the trigger, and the other guy's like, no, I didn't do it. Well, like, there's clear, like, DNA there. And, like, I think that's the thing that I'm really struggling with here, man.
We have you have no evidence.
Just seems
Where's the evidence?
Like,
he's lying.
If you would just say, yeah, it was my bank account. It was really fucked up. It aligned with all these things. By the way, I play WWE champions. I have a hard time quitting it. Those games are addictive. And he just kind of said, yeah, these things are accurate. I think people would just be like, okay, and they'd be cool with it. But it just seems like you keep digging and digging and digging. And I mean, walk me through this, because there's just evidence here, like mounds and mounds of evidence. And that say
you claim that it was someone else, but why do a lot of the things on the bank statement actually correlate to things that you actually did and paid for?
Right, and the only evidence that
exactly.
You're putting out is,
look, he doesn't answer. Look him. Look at him. He's sweating.
And
he's sweating.
Walk me through this, man, because this is the whole purpose of this thing was not to make you look bad at all. Right. I just want to walk through this here, man, because it doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up.
Cry, you bitch.
So what specifically? Like, you said a couple things there. First, you said big events in the game correlate to money being spent on the account.
No, I don't think he meant in the game. I think he meant in life.
Well, in life and in the game, apparently there's like special events that happen in the game, and it's, you know, a certain character's released or whatever. I don't know enough about the game, right? I didn't do a deep dive into the game. Just there are special events that happen. Hey, you know, it's like you see this on any game, Call of Duty, Apex. For this time only, you can buy this character or whatever. That's all. I'm just trying to walk through this, man.
But here's the thing. I don't know specifically what you're referencing. I guess what you're saying is there's transactions on that account that correlate. That's something that's been proven that I spent money on. How would that even be proven?
Because you talk about your life.
I mean, maybe you went to a restaurant and you said, hey, I'm going to go to dinner tonight. And then there's a transaction at a local restaurant for
big up Frank Ducks. Thank you so much. Frank Ducks for $2.
You know what I mean?
Big up you. Boom, boom, boom.
That's all. Like I said, I'm just trying to walk through this.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds. I mean, first of all, from your perspective, if I were sitting where you were right now and hearing this story, you know, I'd be like, probably lying. I don't know how to defend. Again, I don't know how to defend myself without putting myself and my family at personal risk.
DSP makes 130. DSP makes a minimum of. Again, let's just be clear here. It's no one's business how much money this guy makes. No one's business. What he spends it on, no one's business. The fact that he calls his horse wife and a cat a family, no one's business. The fact that he just sits at home and he's flipping withering away and he's actually 40 years old, but he looks 60, it's no one's business, right? The fact that his face is droopy and he has snort snacks probably filled with nonsense in his face because he doesn't go outside and breathe fresh air, no one's business. But the issue that we have here is that he feigns poverty. Every time on stream, he feigns poverty. Like every time he doesn't hit his tips goals, it's as if he can't pay rent. Like he's gonna get chucked out of his house. Like his home is gonna get repossessed. Everything's gonna go bad if he doesn't hit his tips goals. But then he hits his tips goals. He makes a lot of money on fucking YouTube. He's got money on Patreon, but he still begs for money and he spends it on WWE champions. That's the issue. Spend your money on what the fuck you want. No one cares. But don't complain about money when you're spending it all on a gambling game, spunking it, and you can't admit it. You are a piece of crap. Piece of crap.
Risk, and that's the problem. I don't know how that lines up. I wish I knew I could explain those transactions. I guess, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can tell you from my perspective what really happened that summer.
Hans Fofak. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no recognition of this phone call. The phone call did not happen. I have no idea what you're speaking about, Hans. No idea. I plead the fifth.
And why?
I'll tell you. Here's something very easy, very simple, very simple. You have my email, and this is a small ask. It's also a big ask. You can say whatever you want. Will you? And you can say no, and I'm totally fine with this. But just confidentially, between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account, of your WWE account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
Man, I have to think about
and vouch for you.
Yeah,
Look at him.
I will vouch for you either way.
Look at him.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say. Here's the thing, I'll consider it. But I can't agree to it yet. I have to see what's the risk, you know. And I not say that I think you would do anything with it. I don't.
I think you got to look at what's to benefit more than what's to risk.
You have no idea the levels, how this has gone.
I do. I see it. I'm well aware. I have chat up. I mean, I know. I mean, people have been tagging me relentlessly since. It was announced that you were coming on the show, and I didn't know who you were. I had never heard of you before. Before this moment when Craig was like, "Hey, so do you know who DSP is?" And I'm like, "No. What's the deal?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we got to freaking tell Adam who DSP is." You know, it's like I see the amount of attention that you get in a negative light, right? So, like, I understand. That's why I'm like, I kind of understand that you don't want to be too forthcoming with your any more information that isn't public already, because as there's a lot out there. So, you know, but you're in a pickle, man, because the internet is a fucking pulse, and it's a new brain that humans are still learning how to adapt to. And right now, there's a big chunk of the internet.
We all know you're lying.
A target on your head.
Exactly.
And you know, you've said it multiple times that you fucked up. You held your hands up. You said, I didn't handle this right. I fucked up multiple times. You did this and that. So it's like, if you want to remain on the internet, which you seem to enjoy streaming, you like what you're doing now, which is good. I'm glad you like what you're doing. But it's like, if you want to move in a direction that's going to alleviate some of these haters.
Liar. Stop crying.
Anything might help. Obviously not giving them more ammo, which, I mean, I've grown to trust Craig. Of course, you know, don't tell him I said that. But, you know, I think that would actually do more for you than you think. If Craig came out and was like, all right, guys, he sent me the proof, and I can confirm to everyone that his account is not, they call me DSP, the whale account. You know, like
or the other name,
Down for the rafters. Exactly.
or what it changed it to. Yeah.
Right.
Like almost
he's lying
because
he's lying. That's why
it's almost suspect
he's fucking
that you're
lying.
not
Exactly.
wanting to just do whatever you can.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, I hear you. If I was sitting in your position right now, I would feel exactly the same way. But just the
I hear ya.
levels of
I
shit
hear
that
ya.
I've been through and people who betrayed me. Not that I'm saying Craig would. I don't think he would. But
I have no interest, Phil. I want to be really clear with you, man. And just like this, we were talking about this. I have zero interest in making you look bad. Like I think there's a tremendous opportunity here for you to be humanized to a lot of people who don't see you as human, you know, and to err is to be human, right? That's the old saying. Like everybody fucks up, and you've owned up to a lot of those things. But there are certain things here, man, that I just, you know, they don't add up. And you're saying, hey, if I was in your shoes, I'd be saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I don't know, man. It's not connecting. It's not connecting. And I'm trying to help you out here, man. I really am. And
I hear you.
And so
I feel like there's
help yourself.
I feel like there's nothing else to be said then, you know, because
could I bring up one point about these bank statements?
Sure, yeah.
So I've seen limited amounts, because here's the thing. You guys just said, why do you bring it up on your stream? I only bring this kind of stuff up on my streams when someone else brings it up, and there's like, it's such a loud fervor on the stream. People are talking about it.
Burger.
Okay. I did look into
Twitter.
it. I saw some of this supposed bank
Burger.
There's a couple things that don't make sense to me. All right. Number one, if this is me, okay, there's a bunch of transactions on there, I guess, from like pet stores, okay? And people are like, well, that's because Phil has a cat. Yeah, but those transactions are like big. You're talking like hundreds of dollars a week or something like that. I have one cat. Now, again, that's he said, she said. It's not going to prove my innocence.
Oh my
God! I have one cat.
So you recognize?
I don't have a secret herd of dogs in my basement. I don't even have a basement. So we're, you know, some of the transactions in that I've seen don't make sense at all. For what it's funny because you say circumstantially, some of these transactions could be yours if you went out, you know, and ate. Okay, you're right. But some of them also don't make any sense. Like, okay,
so what? So what is this account then?
iTunes.
What is this fucking account?
Now I don't know, but here's the thing: the narrative that they have put out there.
Oh my God, you fucking liar, man!
Begging and shilling to my viewers. The viewers give me tips every day. And that money goes right into WWE champions.
Yes, it does. It does. WWE champions, DoorDash, and Jin.
Why are there bank transactions for iTunes? Right? The money is in my PayPal account. Why are there bank transactions for iTunes? It doesn't make any sense.
Because you withdraw it to your account. You fucking dickhead.
Get my tips from. Transfer it to my bank account where then I take a hit because there's a transfer fee. Anytime you transfer money from PayPal to a bank account.
Because you're addicted to gambling. You take the hit every day.
No, I'm making transactions in the game off the bank account. Why wouldn't it be made out of the PayPal account?
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Sense. To me,
well, there's a lot of things that haven't made a whole lot of logical sense here, Phil. I mean, let's just be real. There's a lot here that doesn't add up, right?
Mr. West.
Isn't the iTunes like where the microtransactions from games are charged? So that actually would make sense.
It would make no. You're okay. You're correct, but the point I'm making is the money's in the PayPal account.
Mr. West, no, he didn't steal from me personally, but I swear to God, I fucking hate liars and cheats and frauds, especially on the internet with fandom. I fucking hate it. I swear to God, it's one of the things that really bothers me to my soul. Like I see stuff like the Logan Paul shit with the Crypto Zoo, and it really fucking irks me. Like, how dare you take your fans' generosity and kindness and then scam them? Like, I don't understand that. Especially someone like a Logan Paul. You make all this money, you got Prime, you're doing wrestling, you got a sick YouTube career, you're a legendary flipping influencer, you're not even 30 yet, and you still got so many opportunities to make money. Why scam your fans? It's the bottom of the bottomest. It's horrible. It's like people scamming people that don't have any money and telling them to invest it into stock market and then fucking taking it all. It's Bernie Madoff shit. Take it from the people that don't have much and ripping them off for your own gain. I fucking hate that shit. It irks me. So I take it personally. Even though it hasn't hurt me personally, it's like it hurts me personally. I don't know. I'm weird.
So
Okay.
if there,
Yeah,
if
but
I'm-
hold on, I know what you're saying. But on PayPal, you can actually use PayPal, and you could click use balance or use your bank account, and it'll just pull the money from your bank account, but using PayPal as the payment service.
It's easy.
So that's irrelevant because you can just choose where the money's coming from on PayPal.
You're lying because you're lying.
What I was going off of their narrative, and their narrative is every day I'm begging my audience for money. It goes to my PayPal, and then I immediately spend that on WWE.
You do, yes, you do.
I didn't believe that narrative, but it does seem that you do get money and you just spend it on the things that need to be spent on instead of
saving.
You know, planning for
a rainy day
next month or whatever. You know,
ask him what a rainy
that
day
is. Absolutely correct. Yes.
Right, and or things that aren't necessary, which could include WWE. Not saying that it is, but it could be.
Do you feel that
cry? Look at him.
You said you still play the game. Do you play any other mobile games?
Hate him. Yes.
Do you feel that you're addicted to them at all?
No.
No?
I play them casually. I play them, for example, I'll be off the stream and it's night and my wife and I are watching a TV show. And as we're watching the show, I might just open it up. And, these mobile games are not...
Imagine a guy that says he's struggling financially, can't get himself on his feet, is now begging for money. Fuck him, man. Fuck this guy.
Not big narrative experiences. They're just like kind of busy work game, grinding games, right? You mash a little bit. You do like Adam said, this stupid WWE Champions is just a freaking puzzle game like Candy Crush. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to do them. They're more like,
do casual players pay just under $1,000?
Exactly.
No,
I feel like you elevate your level when you actually put any money into it, but then when it goes over $100, you kind of elevate from casual to all right. I'm one of the core players.
This all started because you guys probably don't know the full history. This all started many years ago before. there was
fuck you, man.
That were public. I was playing a different WWE game. It was called WWE Supercard. All right. This one I actively spent a lot of money on. I will tell you guys this. I can't tell you the exact. I got addicted to that one. Everyone knew it. I talked about it.
So you have been addicted to mobile games.
But this
yes,
is now.
I have. I've publicly admitted this, that I spent way too much money on that. And there was another one that was called
so much shit,
Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. That one as well.
I like trying to pretend you
this
don't know the name.
Before, way before years before the bankruptcy and everything. I was spending too much money on it. And at that point, I stopped. I cut off. I stopped playing WWE Supercard and Dokkan Battle completely. When I saw what I was doing.
Sorry, what's that, Uche? What's that? Raccoon Eyes.
I've casually played.
Oh, yeah, sick.
Basically, what happens is
Uche.
You're changing the narrative.
What's that song?
No, it's not helping your case at all, though.
I know, but I'm being honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is all public record. I talked about those games in the past, and with these detractors, what they do is they find a narrative and they stick with it. If I can dispute it or disprove it, or if it gets somehow disproven, then they drop it and they latch onto the ones that they can't, that I haven't been able to disprove. This particular one, they've been looking for something to get me on for years and years and years, and every single thing gets disproven or just forgotten about. This is the one I can't find a way.
Use Craig. Send him a screenshot.
I haven't found a way.
He doesn't want to do it, see? He doesn't want to do it because he plays it. He's lying. He's lying. You're a liar.
Even though there's been so many different things that have been disproven. There's people who make videos about WWE champions that have made entire exposés about me in the past that were completely disproven. They don't care about that. What's the next thing that we can make drama about for Phil so we can have personal gain on the internet and get clickbait views and shit, So that's what I mean. Because this all started years ago with those other games, I publicly admitted to everyone, yeah, I was addicted to them. I spent too much money on them. I'm done with that now, And then I casually, people at one point, like 2017, when this game came out, asked me, are you playing any other mobile games? Yeah, I started playing this one. And every once in a while, I mention it. I think the last time that I actively had admitted that I had played it was 2019. I had said that I was on a plane to Connecticut to get married with my wife, and I had played it on the plane. And then people use that as you still play mobile games. You're still So
let's, okay. So you say you play the game. You say you're not addicted, although you have been addicted to mobile games.
And you play
in the past,
plenty mobile games now.
And I'm just going to lay this all out in front of us. All right. So you used to play a mobile game that was WWE related.
Yes.
Okay. You were addicted to that game. Fast forward, new game comes out, right? You play that game. And by the way, you separated yourself from that game because you knew that you were addicted to it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Usually in the case of addiction, just usually there's some sort of intervention in life, some sort of intervention that happens, whether it's brought on by friends, family, or just personal, you look inside yourself and you realize something needs to change, right?
Right.
Do you feel that you're addicted to these games? I've already asked you this, but I just feel like, once again, you have transactions that line up with major events.
Exactly.
I'm getting DM pictures of you of your Discord, your Discord handle in the WWE Champions Discord, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. I have, and it just seems there's all so.
Why
make
lying?
It make sense.
Exactly.
Like, this doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. I have such a hard time believing that there is a group of people that are so hell bent, this evil plan to make you look bad, that they're willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE champions just so they can make you look bad.
About you that much.
I don't buy it.
Thank you, Starring.
And once again, there's an easy out here, Phil. I'm offering you the easy out. All you got to do is just take a quick screenshot. You can email it to me. It's done. We all move on. The detractors move on, and everybody goes, okay, you know what? And we all move on. That's it. That's it. It's very simple, man. And we want to make this happen. Like, I want you to be able to move on from it. I want the detractors to be able to move on from it. I want the internet to move on from it. I want all the WWE content to be done. Like, it's there, man. It's there. Like, let's make this happen. Like, and then we all move on and we can start talking about other things.
Look at him. He's not gonna do it.
Okay. Like I said, I'll think about it. I gotta see how I can do it. And again, what liability? I'm not gonna 100% agree to it, but I'm very strongly considering doing it.
Let's see if we can do it before the end of the stream. We have a captive audience here. They want to know, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I told you I'm not even doing anything with my phone or anything on the stream. I'm definitely not doing it today on the stream.
Okay.
It's just, you gotta understand there's liability here. This is not just a discussion for me either. I'm talking to my wife, everything here. Because if this account gets out, that's a lot of stuff that now can be compromised. Okay. All right. Look, like I said, family, I get it. Right. Totally understand. Okay.
He doesn't have a family. He has a cat and a wife, a horse wife that doesn't go outside. He has a cat and a wife. I'm sorry. That's not a fucking family.
When you decide that this is something that you're comfortable with, you can email it to me. The email will only be seen by me, not anybody else. Okay. And I will delete it immediately after. And I will, I will serve as your confidant.
Look at his little droopy, sad puppy dog face, fucking lion. Da.
In this process. So, all right. Well, I mean, I don't really know how to move on from this. I don't know. I just feel like there's this mountain of stuff here.
Exactly.
And it just
exactly. Phil, I got a show name that you can do. This is how you don't game. I think you need to own it, man. I think you need to fucking take back what they took from you. And just fucking lean into that, dude. Because
you're terrible at games.
Fuck them.
You're terrible at games.
I mean, just do what you want to do. Do you, man. But, like, the best thing to do is be honest and own up to whatever, right? So, if you truly... You said multiple times you don't know what you could do. I think Craig has given you a good out. If you want to use it, like, I understand you got to, like, think about it. That's fine.
Yeah. Again, we didn't even get into the identity theft stuff of what's happened to me. And that's why I'm so afraid. It almost ruined me, And that's what I mean. Even doing this is a risk.
Who identity theft? What?
As pointed out in the chat, several people have said, like, the charges to your bank account or to the bank statement that is not yours.
The alleged account.
That is not yours. They include, shops that are around where you live.
Exactly.
And restaurants. Right. And like, that just seems like
Why are you lying?
Once again, Phil, help me out, man. Like, we're looking at an account that just so happens to be around where you live. That just so happens to be shopping and dining where you're at. That just so happens to have your a social security number that is extremely close to yours. Right? That's how they access it. Not you know, like I said, we talked about how we totally disown that. That's ridiculous. But it's out there.
Let me ask you a question, because this is interesting.
Oh, look him deflecting.
Let's say, you know, the screenshot. I send you a screenshot. You see it. Okay, this is his account. This is, you know, this is not what he said was true. So then, how did that happen? How did they make this bank? How did they do that? I don't know how they did it. I wish I knew.
We don't care about that. Shut up.
Discord, the Discord chat and stuff. I don't know how they did that. I have no idea. I guess I'm stupid. I'm a dinosaur, right? Like, I don't understand how they faked all that stuff. I really have no clue. And people say, well, how could they have done it? It's like they took advantage because I don't know. I don't know about Discord enough to answer how they could fake those logs. How do you fake a bank account? Or is it a real bank account that they somehow had access and found one that's close to it? I don't know. How could that be possible?
Do you think that somebody went in and created a fake bank account and made 12 hours, 18 hours, however long it was, I mean, do you really think that somebody dislikes you that much that they were to make a 12 to 18 hour audio recording of every single transaction from a bank account?
That's not yours.
That
just lying,
happens to be right where you live, right in the same area, at shops you may or may not you visit. Like, this just seems like way, like, dude.
Do you hear my honest answer?
Yes.
Yes, I believe they hate me that much. I have other situations that are similar that have happened to me, and I could tell you about them if you want.
No, not that car thing again. Not the car thing.
It's just way too elaborate, man.
Exactly. No, fuck off. Not the car thing.
People who've catfished me for 2 years, saying they were someone to get into my group. They moderated for me on my chat for 2 years, saying they were a person. They had a whole persona of who they were. All my other moderators were friendly with them. And then after 2 years, they revealed, I'm a secret detractor and I was here to try to ruin Phil. Like, what? You spent 2 years of your life doing this? And you're like, that can't be true. It's true. It's documented. What
about Phil? What about that these accounts, the Down from the Rafters, the DSP account, why are they tied to your phone number?
That I don't know, and I don't know what that means. How could they be tied to a phone number?
Well, when you
they got him, Netrunner. Thank you, I appreciate you so much for the £5, brother. Thank you, Netrunner. Oh my God, they got him. They got him. They got him. It's two-factor verification. It's two-factor verification. You piece of crap.
Best pod out, Tar, and but what was the phone call, bruv?
Hands! Thank you for the $10 donations. I don't know what you're talking about. There was no phone call. What phone call? Phone calls don't exist. I don't have a phone. This is a prop. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a prop. It's a prank. This is an illusion. There was no fucking phone call, Hands. But thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. But this is a paperweight. It doesn't work.
Register an account, you have to put a phone number attached to it, right? Why would that be?
No, to my knowledge, if you're going to play any mobile game, you don't ever enter your phone number into it. It's tied to your, well, I guess it could be tied to many things.
Line?
It could be tied to, what's that?
Line app. Look at
Line?
It could be tied to, what's that?
What's that?
The Line app?
Line,
perhaps?
That's one of the apps, correct? Mm-hmm. No, wait, hold on. I'm trying to think, like, currently, okay. I'm trying to put it in perspective of a game that I played today. Like, for example, WWE Champions. I believe it's your Apple account, it's a Facebook account, or there's a third one. And I don't know because I don't think I use the third one. So I use the Apple account. I never entered my phone number. You know what I mean? Like, it was just the Apple account you log into when you download anything off the Apple Store or whatever. There's no phone number entry there. So I don't know how that would happen or how you would even tie it to a phone number. I have no clue. I've never entered my phone number into any mobile game.
You liar!
If you bring up the Line account, that's something else entirely, which we could talk about too, because they've tried to spin that into it too.
We have almost been going for 3 hours.
We have? Holy crap.
And it's been a great interview. I know it's been tough. I'm certainly taking the stance of being very critical. You know, I don't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. But I think that we should move to super chats because and I don't know if we're gonna have the time to read them all because I saw super chats going the entire time.
Right. Well, there's a lot more to get to here, and I think that those who are contributing, they will be read and they will be appreciated. But I feel like there's more substance here that we need to hit on before we talk about that. And I think those who are contributing,
one other way,
because they want to contribute.
I
and they
take the money from the fucking dance.
Phil, I want to be clear, I told you all along, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, you had other offers. This was not meant to be an interview to start with, but I appreciate you coming on and being a part of this. I know that those who want to contribute, they will contribute. They will give memberships. They will super chat. They will buy merchandise, whatever, because they want to support. But I think that there's more substance here. So let me continue with this really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah, it's your show.
Right. Well, it's our show, buddy. It's our show. Let's talk about this, man. So we'll move on from WWE, and we'll talk about something else. You have been doxxed. You have been doxxed, and that is ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. Now, to be clear, there's been a lot of, the idea of what doxing is, right? Like leading up to this, I was asking people, like, I want to know who I'm getting my information from. People are like, are you doxing us? Well, no, I was asking to see who I was speaking to. I feel doxing is putting personal information out on the internet for people to find, for people to see, and that normally wouldn't be available to people, right? And you have been doxxed. Your personal information has been put out. Like, why do I know that your personal phone number is tied to this account, right? Like, your address, all these things. It's insane. But you have also been accused of not necessarily doxing, but holding the information that you have over people's heads. And I wanted to kind of show you this clip real quick, and then we can talk about this. So.
Look at him!
The fact that his
Thank God.
Twitter account is the same exact avatar that he's fucking using for this troll account on my website. Oh, by the way, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address. So, congratulations. You fucked up. You really did. Be awesome one on Twitter. I have all your fucking personal information. Now, I'm going to say this up front. I'm not going to give it out. This is not a doxing video. I do not condone it. I will never give out someone's personal information.
Doxing, but doxing.
Like
doxing, but not doxing. I love it.
However, understand something.
What?
I got you. How about the fact that his fucking Twitter...
I have to top it off, mate.
Do you think that's okay?
Yeah. Big up, Richie. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for topping me off. You could top me off anytime you want, brother. $9.89. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Oh, I fucking hate this guy so much. I want to punch something. Honestly, fucking hate him.
Right? That's the first time I've actually heard this clip since I said it.
Pretty sure it was a threat.
Yeah.
Honestly, DSP is the only.
That is definitely a threat.
Yeah, exactly.
That is, I mean.
DSP is the only person on the internet I hate. I don't even hate Brendan Schaub. I fucking hate this guy with all my heart. I hate him so much.
Okay, no, it's not. Again, this is kind of goes back to you tell a dark joke.
That's not a threat.
That's a threat. What I was getting at in that clip was
that's not a threat.
Someone who had hurt me. I don't know if you want to get into the specifics of what they had done.
No, we don't. We don't want to get into the specifics, actually.
Really badly. It's actually one of the things that have actually hurt my business overall financially since then. Okay, I've never.
So
really
it justifies it.
No, it doesn't justify.
That's
it
what you're. That's
what you're doing.
Have said it otherwise.
Exactly.
It got me that angry. They had actually hurt me so bad for no reason. I don't even know who that guy is. All right. And the only reason I knew is because someone had found the information, sent it to me. I didn't find it myself.
He's such a piece of shit.
And I said that on the stream because I was so upset. And essentially, what I should have said was, this is a situation. You hurt me so bad. I don't know who you are.
I love it.
I think I'm going to go to the authorities with this. That's what I should have said. I shouldn't have said, oh, I got all your information and blah, blah. You're right. 100%. You're right. I never doxed that guy.
So it was a threat. So you admit that it was a threat.
It was it was me venting anger.
That's a threat.
It's a threat, man.
It was me. Correct. It was me venting anger in a threatening manner. Yes. But I never did anything with it, nor did I ever dox that person. Their information never went on the internet publicly, or if it did, it wasn't me that did it. Like I said, someone sent me the information.
Oh, I fucking hate that. Oh, sorry,
but you understand, like that's not something that you should.
Oh, Craig, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Craig, your audio.
Yeah, what happened?
Not sure. His mic seemed to have been muted.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that support me. I have a few different companies. I have a coffee company, and like I have people's information, and I would never ever use it ever, and I would never claim to, even if someone pissed me off, even if they bought my coffee company, I knew where they lived. That just feels like a weird, like you say, your anger or whatever, and it just slipped out. It's like, is there things that go on that, like, in your head that might, because the way it sounds, like it seems like you kind of just fly off the handle sometimes and do shit and say shit that that gets you in trouble. Like, I mean, it almost feels like I need to be worried about you, dude. Like, what's gonna happen next? You say you've changed, but it turns out that racist video with the little girl was only like 7 months ago.
Exactly.
That's pretty recent, dude.
Exactly.
You can say it's you can say it's racist.
It is racist. It is racist,
bro. I'm telling you,
that's racist.
It doesn't matter. The internet thinks it's racist. I saw it, and it's
racist.
Racist. So you're talking about a killer who's killing people in their basement, and then so you're bringing up the slave, like sending a little girl off to the slave trade.
That's racist.
I don't know. It's pretty obvious. All right. So I know you claim that it isn't, but it really did sound that way. But that's whatever. I don't know, man. It just feels like.
No, Craig, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, Craig.
What the heck happened?
I got tired of his bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but anyway,
or bullshit in general.
To follow up on what you just said, so that clip, just so you know, 2015. That clip is from 2015. Not to say that means anything. Yes, I will admit I made. There you go. You're back, Craig.
All right, got me. Good. Thanks.
So that clip was from 2015. That's, again, one moment in my 15-year career that maybe I made a threat of doxing. I never did it, but I shouldn't have done it, and I openly 100% admit that. I didn't even know I had ever
Say sorry, you prick.
I really don't. I never know that.
Say fucking sorry.
So I apologize for that. I should have never done that. The guy should also have not hit me with false copyright strikes that destroyed DSP Gaming and lost me.
So that justifies you doxing him, yeah?
That year and onward and to this day, but that's a moot point. I did the wrong thing. Oh, you can't fight a wrong with a wrong, correct? You can't fight fire with fire. It just makes things worse. And I shouldn't have said that.
You're right. But I feel like that statement in itself, the idea of like you can't fight fire with fire, you can't fight, like I feel like a lot of this conversation, Phil, has been like it's been deny, and it's I don't know, that's not true. That didn't happen. But you haven't really given any facts to back it up. I feel like just across the board, there's this entire mountain of evidence here.
Exactly, saying, but you have no facts. We have all the facts. You have no facts.
These are the things that Phil does. These are the things that has happened. And you're just saying, well, no, it's not. And
I didn't say no, it's not. I said,
or that's not true, or that's not my account. That's not me. That's not my. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. It just when there's a mountain of evidence, you can't just say like, well, no, that's not true.
There is definitely a reason why I'm in the position I'm in. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is 15 years of me all day, every day, putting myself on the internet, making mistakes. When I started 15 years ago, there was no groundwork of seeing, oh, here's someone who's done it, and here's the right things and wrong things to do. And I've made tons of these mistakes over the years. Like I was just saying, that clip's from 2015. When that happened, I'm sure everyone called me. I said, how dare you make threats against that person, even if they've hurt you? Oh, you know what? You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that. And now I won't do that stuff anymore. And then maybe I did it again. I don't know.
If you wanted to hurt me, you got me, bud.
I'm doing my best to improve and not make those same mistakes again. I do slip up. I absolutely do. What I would say is, and Craig, I have no clue if you did this or anyone else, if you just watch a stream of mine, you know, just come by one day, watch
I have,
half an hour of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see anything like that on the stream? Did you actually see me? You know what I mean?
No, look, there is something to the idea of people picking and choosing things that people say during interviews, during streams, during whatever, right? There is absolutely something to that. And it only takes, 10 seconds to screw things up, right? I totally understand that. But it just, Adam, you said something yesterday when we were talking about this. Do you want to, you're talking about a collection of moments. Do you want to kind of say what you were saying yesterday? I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, you're saying that in the event of these collections that your detractors put together of you saying these things, there's a lot of them. Like there's a lot. And
it's all from your streams.
Through most people over the last, most people just in general, there wouldn't be as many. They wouldn't be as long. There's just a lot to sift through. And
exactly.
maybe you have a more watchful eye on you than most people. But it just seems like there's a lot there, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing here.
I think you're right. I think it comes with being one of the most prolific content creators of gaming that have been, over 100,000 videos. 15
There's
years
that
of my
illusions of
life.
grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good content. I'm saying it's just habit. You can say it's shit if you want. I don't care. But when I put myself out there that much, there's just that much more to microanalyze. And
no one else has
I'm
this.
A small-time guy, and you see
Hold
concretely.
on.
Oh, if we make that video.
If KEEMSTAR is a despicable human being like DSP says he is, he's horrible, he's disgusting. He would never accept the 50 grand from KEEMSTAR because what KEEMSTAR has done in his history. Cool. Why hasn't KEEMSTAR got as many videos and a whole community dedicated to flipping exposing him as much as he does? Why is that the case? Why does he seem to be the only locale, with maybe the exception of maybe Chris Chan, that people go this hard on? Because you're a piece of shit. There is no locale that exists that isn't a piece of shit. They're all pieces of shit. Wings of Redemption, Boogie298, Merch from Revenge of the Sith. All pieces of shit. That's why they get fucking trolled and they have whole communities around dedicated to tearing them down and dissecting everything that they say. Because they're pieces of shit. Simple as that. God damn, this guy is so fucking annoying.
Video about Phil, number one, you're getting the clickbait views. You're getting money because you're probably running ads on the video, or people are donating to you to continue to make fun of me. This is how you don't play. I became the whipping boy of the internet. People made entire channels that were profitable based off just
people made entire channels that are profitable.
So when I'm out there as the target, and people realize, well, people have been doing this for years and they get away with it. This started making fun of my gameplay. Then it became make fun of him and his mannerisms, make fun of his family members, make fun of it just it kept going big as much as you can, as toxic as you can. And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm the one. It's me and others. They call us lolcows.
I'm the one.
It's the term that's used. Lolcows.
Right. Lolcows. Yeah.
You know what it's called. The term that's used.
You got Boogie. We're targets because we don't really. We
Look
make
his
mistakes.
face. Look his face.
We all do, and we sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over. I feel that other content creators make those same mistakes too. Maybe not as much as us. Maybe not to the extremes.
That's why you're called lolcows.
Content creators
you
are big
dickhead.
and have ginormous audiences that back them and defend them. The crazy stuff. I mean, the other day I saw a video of Moist Critical picking up an assault rifle in his video.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked up an assault rifle, I'd be off the internet. That would be ending for me. I'm out of here. Right? It doesn't even matter what the context is. If I pick up a weapon,
but I think it does.
I'll be off the internet.
But it very much does. It very much does matter the context, right? Like if what he was doing was he was making a point. I saw the video you're speaking of, and he was talking about some beef he has with some other guy. I don't really know the whole deal, but the guy that he was talking to was talking about clips. He was talking about clipping streams and clipping, and the guy who was kind of threatening him with a gun, who was talking about the clips, and he's like, no, listen, that's not a clip. This is a magazine, and he was explaining these things in context for what was going on.
Exactly.
I think context very, very much does matter, though.
It is against terms of service on YouTube to be.
We all
live
like
while
Moist
holding any gun.
Critical. We don't like you.
He wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't live. It was a video.
Live. Yeah, it was a video. So
then there's nothing wrong with it.
He may be demonetized and such, but so let me say this, Phil. You look.
Deflect, Phil.
You have your detractors. You have people who are who very much want to see you fail, or enjoy seeing you fail, or laugh seeing you fail. That does not sound very fun to me, right? It doesn't sound like something that I would want to be a part of. Have you thought about going to therapy or anything along those lines to help you get through this? Because this is obviously not an easy life that you've chosen for yourself. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I would imagine that going to talk to somebody, therapy is not a bad word. It's a very good thing for a lot of people, where you can just go and get these things off your chest and talk about these things. Have you considered that ever?
At one point I did, for sure. I would say probably around, like I told you, around 2016 was one of the worst years of my life. I hated my job. My personal life was falling apart. But I didn't. I've never formally talked to anyone. I'm not anti-therapy or anything like that. But no, I had just never gotten to that point where I've considered doing or seriously pursued that.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is it because you think that it's not you, it's everyone else?
No,
that's the feeling I get.
Exactly.
I know you've admitted your flaws from the past. Like you say, like, yes, back in 2015 I said that fucked up shit, and I took that, this is how not to play, way wrong, and I admit that now. But it's like, it's really easy to do that, right? To convince someone that you've changed. Not saying that that's what you're doing, but it could be. All right. So it's like, it feels kind of like you can do no wrong almost, and that's the vibe.
Exactly, Netrunner. DSP is the archetypal person who just needs a beating. He's never been beaten in his entire life. He basically is a shut-in. He just stays at home, doesn't go outside, doesn't interact with regular people, and doesn't get slapped in the face when he talks rubbish. He's insulated from everything. He closes comments on his streams. He's not got comments open on his on his Twitter. He has to approve your comments on his YouTube. Like, he has a 24-hour block on his chat, on his flipping live streams. Everything is blocked, so he can't get any direct communication. And if you criticize him directly, you get banned. Lean in, manual ban. He's the fucking worst, man. Fucking worst.
I'm getting, and
I could do no wrong that.
No. Like, not in your past, but it does feel like you kind of have, like,
exactly.
Well, I've changed, so people should understand that. And like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just a vibe that I'm getting, that because there's been so many times where we've asked a question and your response was instantly blaming other people, and that was a consistent answer throughout the entire 3 hours and 10 minutes that we've been live. So it's like a dishing responsibility elsewhere.
I think that's, like, if I can echo what Adam is saying, right? Like, Phil, we want nothing but good things for you, right? We don't want to come from this.
We don't want good things for you. I don't want any good things for you. You don't deserve good things. You're bloodless, goalless, soulless
Adam
man.
Is correct.
You don't deserve anything.
What about this? Well, my detractors, or the people who are after me, at what point, you have taken accountability for some things, right? For this is how I was in the Street Fighter community. This is how I was then. But I feel like there are other things that have yet to be, you have yet to atone for, whatever the word is, that are just, I just go back to it, man. It just seems like there's just this mountain of evidence, and we're talking fucking JFK level conspiracy theory here.
Exactly.
If all this stuff lines up the way it does,
you're not that important.
If you were just to say, like, yeah, I play WWE Legends. Yeah, I'm addicted. Yes, I have a problem with spending money on it. Yes, I
look his fucking ghoulish face.
Need to improve. I think people will be like, yeah, cool. Let us help you, instead of stop lying. And that's what it feels like right now, man. It just, look, only you know the truth in your heart. Right. And the evidence attached to it, right? Which there is a mountain of, right?
Craig, you sound like a detective right now trying to get a confefession. I'm just saying.
No. And it's not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm more trying to sound like fucking Dr. Phil.
I know, but there's a fine line between the two, and
I understand
that. It feels like you're trying to get a confession, and I don't. I'm not trying to, like, make it weird and
right.
And
I apologize for that.
You've already been there a couple times. So
I know, but I'm just having a really hard time getting through it, and I apologize if that's what it sounds like. That's not what I'm trying for.
You might not be able to get through it, Craig.
You're right. I may not, and for that I understand why people would be critical. You know,
right.
it just too much lines up.
Exactly. But the situation I'm in, it's a lose-lose. There is no win. There is no win in this situation. There just isn't.
There is a win.
I do. There's a risk. There's a liability, and just like you said, even if I send you this screenshot, they won't care. They will not care.
It honestly it depends, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all.
Exactly.
There's people out there that would be like, damn, would be genuinely shocked, myself included.
Exactly.
Because I don't think you're going to send that screenshot, but
Exactly.
I truly believe it would be for the better. I think that, I mean, I don't know how many people who hate you know who Craig is or can even trust Craig or think that they'll probably just be like, oh, he photoshopped it. He edited out
exactly
his thing.
1,000,000%. That's
whatever.
It. That's the explanation.
So,
I photoshopped it today.
So FaceTime with him. FaceTime him. Pull it up, and Craig will be like, we FaceTimed. And he opened I saw him open the app. I mean, there's ways around it that Craig would be like, I saw him do it live, right? I mean,
okay.
There's ways around that.
I will. Can I tell you a quick story as to why I am so
fuck you! He's going to do a lot of car thing. It's going to be the car thing.
Can I please just tell you a story? Will you bear with me for a couple minutes?
It's your show, Phil, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy.
It's not my show. It's your show.
Our show, Craig.
Well, listen, we provided you a platform for you to do it.
Hate this
You have thousands of people ready to listen to you right now. So,
by the way, you guys have been great. You've been great interviewers. You've been completely fair with me. You've given me, thank you. You guys have been the fairest shake I've ever gotten on the internet right now. Seriously, and you should be commended for being as neutral. I know you're saying he's trying to get a confession out of me. I don't feel that way. I don't feel pressured.
No, he's trying to help you. That's really what I'm saying. But he sounded like it. So.
All right. And the thing is, he's not going to get a confession because I'm telling you, it's what I'm telling you. Is
I know,
true.
but it's
because you're lying. That's why.
It's clearly Craig trying to help.
Okay.
So
here's the story. Okay.
Bitch.
When I was first talking with my now wife, okay, I was so scared that people were going to harass her or do things. We didn't live near each other. We had online communication. After talking for several months, we started dating. Okay. She flew out here on her own dime, by the way. It's another conspiracy that I paid for that way. No, that's not true. Started dating. And after a few months, she visited for Christmas. Okay. This was Christmas of 2017. I took some pictures while she was here, but I didn't take a picture of her face. I just took a picture of her back, decorating my Christmas tree, saying, here's someone nice who's in my life now. My life has changed because I had previously been in a relationship that was very public. And sadly, it turned out toxic. We broke up in 2016, or excuse me, early 2017. So this was like something new and positive that I wanted to share with everyone, but I was apprehensive about showing her face or anything. So all I showed was her back, decorating.
I am Sin. How is this man married? To be fair, not to be cruel to Kat, aka Raccoon Eyes, aka Horse Lady, but she does have. How can you be charitable in this? If you listen to what her sister says, and her sister has her own issues, but according to her sister, Kat has had a very rough upbringing, lot of trauma and stuff attached to it. Read it between the lines if you want to, but that could be the reason why somebody like that would be okay dating somebody like this, because maybe they were looking for an out. They were looking for some sort of safety. And I don't really begrudge her in that regard. I don't blame her. Do you know what I mean? She's innocent in that regard completely. But yeah, that's how he's married. Like, let's just say that. Let's just say she's not Julia Roberts. Let's put that out there. She's not Julia Roberts.
In my Christmas tree. I talked about what we did when she visited. We made some brownies together. We did this, we did that. Very, very basic stuff. I'm not making this up. It's documented. You can look this up on the internet. I wonder if you guys have come across this. There were people, my haters, made up an entire fabricated story about that was not someone I was dating. That was an escort that I was paying. The money that I was bringing in on streams, I was paying for a European escort and flying this escort across the globe.
You know what's funny about this escort story? The trolls are the one that debunked it. He didn't debunk it. The trolls did. The trolls figured out that he was getting fleeced. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a time around the 2000. Remember what he said? Maybe around like 2015 to 2018. Do you guys remember this scam that was campaigning on the internet where people would say, "Oh, I have like really incriminating pictures of you," or like I don't know, they would basically blackmail you with dick pics or something, or say like they turned your camera on when you're watching porn, whatever, some sort of weird blackmail thing, but really they didn't have any evidence, and they do that to get money out of you. And I think it was when Bitcoin was launching, so they'd say, send me Bitcoin and I won't send the pictures out. And obviously send them Bitcoin, there were no pictures, and then they kind of ran from the money. I don't know if you guys remember that scam. Anyway, that scam happened. The trolls discovered that DSP was getting scammed by somebody running that kind of escort, whatever, we caught you, whatever, doing whatever nonsense, and they debunked it. He didn't. The trolls thought it was real. Then when they tried to figure it out, they realized it was fake. But he's trying to claim it like a victory. He didn't debunk it. The trolls did. The detractors did, not him.
To spend Christmas with me. All right?
Well,
they had evidence.
What does that have to do with anything, though?
Well, let's continue.
Exactly.
Okay? They had evidence of it. Documented evidence. Oh, look at this. There's a whole social media account of it, of the escort. Here's the logs of plane tickets. Here's the recipe for the brownies. It's well documented. Everyone said I was guilty. I maintained my innocence for about 3-4 months as she continued to visit me, and we had a relationship blossomed and all of that. Eventually, she moves in with me, okay? What ends up happening is, guess what? The whole thing was fake. It was all my haters. They had made the whole situation up.
No, they didn't. No, it's lie.
You're talking about the narrative. The narrative is that your detractors actually cleared you of it.
Exactly.
Said like, no, this doesn't add up. Right? They're looking for evidence of this thing adding up, and they're
after the fact.
And they're the ones who apparently put the evidence out that said like, hey, this is not the case.
That's fair. What happened was for 3-4 months, they're making my life a living hell, just like with this WWE
He's
champion.
Fucking liar.
Phil is guilty. You know, look at all this evidence. It's all there. It's outright. And then, basically, when she moved in with me, well, now what are they going to? Now the narrative has to change. Okay, so now they figure it out. It's fake. You're right. They did research. They found out it's these 2 people in Europe who apparently they do this all the time with other streamers.
So he didn't mention it. See, until he brought it up, he wouldn't have mentioned this.
Get them to shut up about it or something. Okay.
Fucking prick.
So, to give you some perspective, did anything change positively when that was disproved? No, nothing. They were on to the next thing already. They had already created 2-3 more narratives that they went on to. This is something concrete, almost exactly parallel to the situation. All this evidence, corroborating evidence, proving that it was real, it was real, it was real. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we found out it was fake. Oh well, move on to the next. There was someone who made a video about it, okay? You probably know him, Craig. Did you watch the Secret Limited video about the $100,000?
Yeah, sure did.
You watched it. Secret Limited is someone who once a year makes a very negative video about me, highlights all my mistakes, puts it into one video. They made a video documenting this. They called it the Escort Saga.
Think about it, right? Think about any other streamer that's a normal, decent person. Can you gather a year's worth of mistakes and errors and faux pas and lies and embellishments and toxicity for 1 year on a consistent basis? Name any other streamer that you can do that for. And they find it from like January to fucking December. Like the fucking, what's that thing called? That Fuji song. January, February, March, April, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? You're a piece of shit, DSP. That's why. I'm going to get my green juice.
Okay? The thumbnail for the video was me, my ex, I don't know why she was in it, and the escort's face, supposedly who it was. This gets disproven 3-4 months later. Did my detractors say, sorry about that, Phil, mea culpa, we made a big mistake, let's forget? No. You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse. He never took the video down. He never apologized.
It's the fucking internet, though. DS.
I know.
Come on,
but that's
man.
what I mean. When these things get proven wrong, oh, move on to the next. It's just the next thing.
What did he say?
You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse. He never took the video down. He never apologized.
It's the fucking internet, though.
Exactly.
I know.
Shut up. Exactly.
When these things get proven wrong,
she does look like a horse, though.
It's just the next thing.
And you look like a fool.
So wait. So what does this have to do with it, though?
Exactly.
Because I will disprove anything, and they will just move on to the next. It will
you
never
noodle arm freak.
So it's the internet. So who fucking cares then?
So then why even bother? Why bother with any of it? And that's the attitude I take. And now, Adam, you just hit it dead on the head. because this is the attitude I take now. This was not supposed to be an interview, right? I was just supposed to be a guest on your show. It wasn't my intention to ever come out and have it be like this. On my streams, we don't have this. That's why I wanted this to be the end all be all. You want my actual answers on this stuff. You watch this show, and that's the last thing I'm talking about, right? So this is off my streams. I'm making content. I just want to be left alone. They won't leave me alone. They're the ones who continue the narrative. I'm with Adam. It's the internet. It's going to go on forever. So then why even bother? Why disprove anything? It's on to the next anyway. So once I disprove WWE champions at great personal risk, okay, on to the next. And by the way, now something might happen.
This motherfucker thinks he's a fucking MI5 agent. He thinks he's fucking in the FBI, CIA. Relax. You're not that important, you fucking cunt. Why is it not playing?
To me because I exposed myself. So that's why I don't care. Care about it anymore. I've really become, in the 15 years I've been a content creator, I have become so desensitized to this stuff. It's like, what's the next one? I don't care anymore.
If you truly don't care, then you won't bother sending him a screenshot, because it doesn't matter to you then.
It doesn't matter either way. If anything,
who cares?
If I send Craig the screenshot, it would be out of like respect that he gave me his time today on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, but that's something to think about.
That's a lot of trust too, because again, I'm not saying Craig would ever do anything dishonest or expose me. I'm telling you, there's been times this exact situation has happened, and then something bad has happened to me because I did it.
What?
I haven't. I'll say this: I haven't done anything to dissuade your trust or lose your trust. So look, ultimately, this is your call, but the offer's there, and I know you said you didn't want to do anything, with your phone during this. Respect that. That's fine. But you realize that by leaving the door open, by even doing this after the stream, there still allows the opportunity. It goes back to the picture didn't happen. Like if somebody sees you pick up your phone right now on stream, you were to then email that to me right now on stream, and it was this was to happen literally right now in real time as people were watching.
Look how nervous he is.
It's on his bucket list. It's on his bucket list. But seriously, it's like number 3 on Craig's bucket list for that to happen right now. I'm just saying.
But once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Bro, Phil, how the fuck did you not know the camera was on? You know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but
I did. What the fuck, man? I mean, come on.
Sadly, when it happened, I tried to spin it. I tried to spin it in a very positive light. And
no, you didn't. You banned people. You banned. You banned people. You prick.
It never went away, but at least people, it's just something funny now, right? Imagine if I had reacted to that the same way I reacted to "This is how you don't play." Like that would have been the end for me. Like if this guy, what's he gonna say? He didn't do it or whatever. Of course, it happened. It's something stupid. But
no, it's not stupid. It's super embarrassing.
He's not happy. Okay. Here's the truth. I've told it before, but never in this context. So in 2016, it was probably the second worst year of my life. Everything was falling apart in my personal life. I moved out here to
sad wanking.
My whole
you
life.
wanking sad. That's even more sad.
Our relationship was great. Over the course of 2 years of systematic harassment on the internet, being swatted, doxxed, all this stuff, her family members being harassed, my family members being harassed, our whole relationship fell apart. Okay? In 2016, I was living with her, and we had 2 separate lives. It was like 2 roommates rather than a romantic relationship. It was messed up. Like we're supposed to be together and we're really not. It got to the point where she went off and had her own life. She had her own friends, her own job. I was doing my thing. When no one knew this. Everyone thought everything was fine. We pretended, we smiled, whatever. No one knew that. I was depressed. I was really messed up in the head at that point. The way that I saw it was this room was
exactly. You look pretty happy.
She never came in here. Okay? So this room was like my safe space. I know that sounds stupid, but it was like, this is the one place I can be away from that.
Oh no, the
and
camera's
I can have my own safe place. And in particular, I couldn't tell you the specific day when it happened.
He was scared of her.
Guarantee you.
He's scared.
Argument,
she's a monster. Everything. She led me to wank sad. Fucking hell.
And I came in here, and back then, I was very different. Today I'm professional. I have layouts blocking the screen and everything. Back then I just had, you know, my dashboard.
Got like a couch in the corner that you
exactly.
can go do that now.
Yeah. So I had the camera had been left on from the day before. Back then I didn't do face cam like I do today. Today this is a common thing to have the face cam on every single stream. Back then it was a rarity. I only did it for like FromSoft games where I was going to get really upset. People like to see me rage on camera, right? So that meant that DarksydePhil character. I left it on.
It's not characters,
so I
you.
come in here and I'm feeling like shit. I feel awful, like probably depressed, awful thing. And I beat one off to relieve myself before a stream. And then it's all over the internet. And the camera was on, huh?
So it was depression.
Oops. It was part of it.
It was depression.
Part of it.
It was my depression.
Obviously, you don't sit down in front of why would you even do that? I mean, what an idiot to do that, even in a situation. But it was probably something so horrible. Another argument. There's many of those.
So you said the camera was on, and then you started the stream and then did that, or like you were prepping for a stream, but the camera was on, so it just happened?
Yes. So basically, I
have a question. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to walk my through. Okay. What was the lead time between starting the stream and completion? Because that's pretty fucking impressive. I'm just kidding.
Not long, man. It was, I would turn on the stream. I call it the pre-stream roll or whatever.
You didn't wipe. You didn't wash your hands.
I really don't care. I really don't care.
You didn't wash your hands.
The pre-stream.
The pre-stream roll. The whole routine.
God.
Oh Lord.
You didn't wash your hands.
It's a normal thing.
No, it's not. Obviously, no. It was.
You've got a name for it, Phil. You got a name for it.
The time that I turn on the stream to let people come into the stream.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
jeez. Okay.
That's not a routine I do every day. No.
I mean, it'd be a hell of a pre-show. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
Hey, you could monetize, as our friends from Geeks and Gamers say, you could monetize the haters. You could start a wicked OnlyFans, Phil. I'm just saying, a wicked OnlyFans.
And here's the narrative. Here's the truth of the matter. First of all, it took place on YouTube, not on Twitch. All right, there was maybe 20, 30 people there when it happened because I just turned the stream on, right? And it was laptop in front of me or whatever, cameras on. So embarrassing. But what's the narrative now? DarksydePhil masturbated in front of thousands of people, including small children, on the internet, live on Twitch, and didn't get banned for it. When did that happen?
Well, CNN rehired Tubin after he jerked it in a friggin' Zoom meeting. So, I mean, things can happen, dog. You know?
Thankfully, the camera was not panned down. That would have been very, very bad. Thank God it was, the angle that it was at.
Yes, we didn't see a little tiny winker.
Oh, so it doesn't show anything because I haven't seen it. And I don't want to see it.
It's actually like from the neck up, and it's kind of just like me tilting my head back and looking at my asshole.
Okay, so
it's just the
my O face. It's just my O face.
Hey man,
that's it.
There's been worse videos of prominent YouTubers with their heels above their heads, and it's been worse.
But I'm the one. That's sadly that's the association a lot of people will always have with me. Is that's how I became known on the internet in 2016. And,
all right.
How am I ever going to live that down? If anything, here's what I learned from it. That's going to always, no matter what these idiots say about me, that's always going to be my most embarrassing moment.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to give you some advice. All right. I want to give you some advice right now. You need to own it, and you need to have a box of tissues behind you.
And a t-shirt.
As a fucking joke, dude. Troll them back.
Here's the thing. Here, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. However, again, you have to understand something. We're joking about it. It's funny to joke about it and own it, but actually, it's representative of a really bad time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
okay. That makes sense. Yeah, sure.
It's a depressing thing. My wife doesn't ever want to talk about it. She knew. I mean, think about this. She met me after, and she still likes me. She married me after that. So obviously, she's moved past. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's like, why am I going to monetize the most embarrassing moment?
Phil, damn it, that would have sounded so bad. Yes. I was gonna say beat your demons, but in this context,
pretty good.
Like shit. I mean, conquer your demons. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I don't want to like go there, but it's like, no, fuck that. Like face it and conquer your demons. I didn't mean to make that pun. That was unintentional, but it was so good. But you know what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to like you say you don't want to go there, but like conquer it, dude. Own it. Own that shit.
The problem is, again, when you focus on a focal point like that and it becomes your end-all be-all, I don't want that to be what I'm remembered for. It probably will be, but I want
You don't
people who come to my
choose how
content
people
every day to
remember you,
remember
you
that awesome stream they
fucking
had, and
worm.
that cool gameplay through that we did.
You're a
I don't want them to
cheat.
think about the guy
You're a
who
liar.
had an oath
You're a
and beat off on the
scammer.
thing. Like,
You're a
it's so
low
stupid.
cow.
And
You're
it's such a dumb
ghoul.
thing that I've
A
moved past. I'm not in
soulless,
that part of my life
bloodless
anymore. I'm so
ghoul.
much happier
That's
now
how you always
that I
be
don't need
remembered.
to dwell on the
A
past anymore. I
begging,
don't need to think about that moment.
soulless
It was stupid.
ghoul.
I'll say this:
Ghoul.
if you're not going to monetize it, we will.
Begging
Later
cunts.
tonight, the Beat Your Demons T-shirt will be available on the store.
Oh my god! That is no, that's terrible,
I'm
dude.
totally good. I thought it was really funny. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a few things that I want to circle back with you on, Phil. Phil, you still there? You look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
Is he frozen? Okay, let's fast forward. Maybe it's not frozen.
Internet issue of some.
Yeah.
Continue on. Is he back? Or did he run away?
And then he admitted like a minute later that I was right, and it's just like, man, that your whole credibility was already shaky, and
And I see a lot of people.
Come on. Does he go? I'm kind of far behind actually. Did he go? Let's see. Come on. Fast forward, you cunt.
Well, I'll say this. Phil just emailed me and he said, hey, I'm still here. I might be getting DDoS. Not sure. So I will say this. Look, we do have. So while we have a second and Phil's not with us, I'm actually going to invite somebody to the chat right now.
Who's that? KEEMSTAR.
Is it KEEMSTAR is going to join us to give his side of the thing. And when
Starring Craig's a piece of shit. DSP say he doesn't want to talk to KEEMSTAR, and he invited him on anyway.
when Phil hops
this guy's not your friend.
Oh my god.
We'll see. Like I said, I don't want to make this weird for.
He say he doesn't want to speak to him.
Phil, but I do think that while we have a second, we'll bring KEEMSTAR in.
No, Starring Craig is not his friend, man. Fuck you know. Starring Craig is not.
KEEMSTAR has the link, and he should be joining us any minute.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck! What keeps stuttering? What's going on? My team keeps buffering.
This is.
I will say this. I will say
day.
this, guys. I appreciate everybody staying with us. And while we have you for a second, I want to remind you guys we do have some other guests coming up, including Mark the Cyborg and James.
Look at the picture they use of DSP.
Fucking
hell.
Video Gamer. They're coming.
Look at the picture they use of him.
Next few weeks. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, of course, and come join us. We are a daily podcast Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time, and we're usually pretty fun. We have a great time, and if you guys really like it, you guys can head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers and support us over there. But joining us now,
I gotta say, I really didn't mean to make that pun beat your demons. It was just so funny.
Great,
I couldn't stop laughing, and I jeez.
All right. KEEMSTAR is joining us. Hello, KEEMSTAR. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Oh no!
Good. It's nice to meet you. You guys have absolutely crushed this. I think you've done more than a fair job with Phil here, and especially like how difficult he is. But with him talking about the $50,000 offer and the lol call.
Yes, Wagwan Heba. What's good?
Podcast. I just really wanted to get on to say my piece because he's just dishonest. I think you guys experienced.
Oh, why does it keep pausing? What's wrong with my fucking computer?
He had an opportunity to clear his name so easily, and he
the pausing is annoying.
just put it off and made excuse, and then
maybe it's a fucking bit rate. Let me put it down.
Goes on to bring up some other situation with hookers and some
Let's go 360p.
other lies.
Let's go 360p. Maybe that's why. God damn it, my computer's suffering.
Other lies, and it's like every content creator has been lied about, right? But in this one issue where he could just prove his innocence so quick and he doesn't take advantage of it, then it's like, and
I told him it's just making you more sus. Like that. It's
For fuck's sake, what's happening here?
making me trust your story less. That you're not like, you know what? I want to fucking prove this shit. Like I'm sick of these lies. Let's prove it. You know.
Well, I'll say this. Look, Keem, we appreciate you hopping on. Phil has rejoined us. Phil said he didn't want to be on the show if you were on it. So I'll say, can we invite you back on after we're done with Phil?
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. We're going to bring Phil back on. We don't want to make things weird. So appreciate you understanding, man. And you have the link. I'll DM you when we're ready. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Keem. Appreciate it, man. All right. Boof. All right. Phil, welcome back, man. Sorry, we had a second. He had reached out and he wanted to share his side of it. So we appreciate you running with it, man. So let's continue. Everything okay?
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what just happened. My whole internet went down and came back up. And I don't know if it was my ISP or if I've just been DDoSed. I would not put it past them to DDoS me.
How did DDoS you? How? Piece of shit.
I've never, to my knowledge, my IP address has never leaked, this one. But if it happens again, I guess we kind of know, right?
Well, I hope that's not the case.
I hope not either.
He loves being a victim, doesn't he?
Because that's a lot of work for me. I have to call my cable company then to get it fixed. It's not pretty.
All right. Let's circle back on some stuff.
They don't give a fuck.
Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
There's a few things that I feel like we kind of went through, and I feel like we do need to kind of address. And I want to circle back to like the business expenses, because we talked about the 5K, we talked about that, and but we didn't really get an answer, right? Like, and this kind of all ties in together. The idea of like, as somebody who works online, I've been doing this for a long time as well. I understand that spending 5K on anything is a lot, and the idea of a mortgage being a business expense, that's not necessarily true. You can, from a tax perspective, you can, allow me to tell you, because from a tax perspective, you can take the square footage of your office space in your house, and that can be deductible, right? And you can use that as a business expense. You can take the internet and do those things.
He's doing tax evasion, isn't he?
But your entire house, your entire mortgage is not
doing tax evasion. That's why he lied about the business expenses. It's tax evasion. Fucking hell, this guy, man. What a fucking crook. Everything.
Business expense, right? So with
I didn't think
all
that was...
Oh, God.
It's legal. I don't think that's legal.
Right. It's not. It's not the way it goes.
Look at his face.
With all that said, I feel like there's, with everything lined up, right? There's still a lot. Like, are you spending that money on food? Or what are you spending that money on it? Because you can pay for, meals out and things like that, as long as you technically talk about business. And I've done that hundreds of times, where you go out to a meal and you say, well, we're going to have a business meeting, and it's just you and your wife talking about whatever, right? It's just one of those things. But walk me through once again, like what are your month-to-month business expenses? What are you paying for as a streamer who works 12 hours a day?
Exactly.
Kind of walk me through this.
Well, again, I could tell you what I'm doing now. I mean, we're talking, what people are referencing is something from like 2019, I think, right? Is that a tax return for my bankruptcy proceeding?
But I want to know about today. Like your expenses that you have on a month-to-month basis. What do those look like? Are your expenses?
You know what? How about this? Give me 1 second.
Sure, do your thing. Yeah, this should be fun. All right, Phil is off, and it looks like, I wonder what this could be a surprise. We'll see what happens.
I'm an old man. Okay?
Yes.
I do something that no one else does. I use paper and I write on it to track things. No one else does this, right?
Now hold on, Phil. Before you show anything, I want to.
I'm going to show. I'm going to read some things. Don't worry, I'm not going to show anything.
He's going to read off the paper that he read.
What I'd like to do is kind of go through here, because people say every day, where does your money go? Essentially that's what you're asking, right? Where does the money go that's coming in? I will 100. You guys are chopping. Tell me.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Here we go. I'm going to go through this. I'm not exaggerating. Line for line, this is what I'm paying this month. And this is where all my money goes, plus a few other things. Okay? And this is literally all of it.
Great.
I have a subscription to Hulu. It's $10 a month.
Business expense. Okay.
Definitely not a business expense. I'm just saying. This is where our money goes. This is everything. I'm serious. I'm going to cover it all.
Okay, sure.
I have my internet. I have 2 internet lines that I pay for. They're very expensive because they're unlimited internet. It's, you know, it's not an hourly. It's like you have to pay a ton of money.
That's the thing though. Just imagine
hourly. Who pays for hourly?
Netrunner, you're right. It's really clear that Phil claimed these mobile microtransactions on his bankruptcy. I mean, we can read between lines. Exactly. The thing about this guy, right, is that, okay, let's say he is running a bit of a scam with his taxes and stuff, and what he's claiming as returns isn't really returns. Cool. But then take the responsibility to make money. No, take the weight of responsibility off your fans. Why are you demanding all this cash if in effect you're quote unquote saving all this money on the taxes that you're not paying correctly? Why are you then burdening your fans? Because you should have some surplus, right? If you're doing that, you're kind of doing it so you can have a little bit more extra money in your pocket. Why are you then begging your fans to pay for everything? Literally everything. They send him free games. They send him lights. They buy him computers. They say games. They give him cameras. They give him what's that thing called? They give him router things to do for his freaking connection. They bought the fucking chair he's sitting on. Everything, bruv. Like fucking hell, man. What the fuck?
Hourly internet.
No, not hourly. I said unlimited.
How can a man be happy to have others pay for his way like that? Earn your own keep, brother. Begging and pleading up at people when you earn £100,000 a year is insane to me. Insane. It's as insane as Logan Paul scamming his fans for that crypto zoo thing when he's a fucking multi-millionaire, soon to be a billionaire. Do you really need to scam your fans for that small millions off a crypto zoo? Really? Same with DSP. You earn $100,000 a year. Do you really need to scam your fans for a couple extra bucks for DoorDash to play WWE Champions?
Oh, I thought you said that. Okay, you go ahead.
I'm sorry. I meant to say data rates, not hourly.
I'm sorry. I'm
You know how much you
sorry.
use. I have my dues here where I live. I live in a community, a condo facility community, so it's the dues, monthly dues.
It's light on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably can't see.
I've got. Let's see here.
I mean,
Game Pass.
but you're reading off personal expenses, and that's no one's business.
Right.
I'm reading off everything. I don't care. I'm reading off
Well-
everything so you know where my money goes. Because this is what they want. They want to know where all my money goes. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think it was about the $5,000, the business expenses that they were like, what is going on with this? Like, how is this the case? So you're now giving them more shit when you were very seemingly very nervous about giving anyone any more information that isn't public. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, before you continue, it just seems like this is counterintuitive for where you have said your stance is on like revealing public information. So like,
well, I'm not going to tell you any account name. I'm not going to tell
yeah,
you
no, I
businesses or
understand.
anything.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
get
I'm saying?
that. But still, it's still personal stuff that it's like, all right, well, I don't understand that's not what the subject was about. It
Right.
was about the business expenses.
Right.
These aren't business expenses that you're reading off. This is personal stuff.
Some of this would be considered business and some wouldn't. You know, like I was just going to say, Game Pass. That's.
But what's the point? Is kind of where I'm leaning. Like, what is the reason for giving us your personal expenses?
Because people want to know where my money goes. You're asking me
your business, the business expense money. That's what they're talking about. That's what I've seen on the internet. That's what I've seen, that people are upset. There's the business expenses, the 5,000, and then like I don't know where this like $500,000 thing is or what that even is. But there's some questions.
$500,000.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard. I've seen
that you've made over your lifetime. You prick.
I have multiple shows that I do, and I couldn't dedicate too much to learning about you. So I figured I'd come and just hear from you. But like.
Pause.
That's from what I've seen. It's the business expenses that's what people want to know about. Like, how are you spending that much money on the business?
Here's the thing: if you were
when it looks like
nickel and
shit,
dime every single transaction I do, when it comes to like
nickel and
video games
dime,
and
I
stuff
love
like
this
that,
guy.
I don't think it gets close to that. I think it's. I don't know how it was divvied out in those, in that report or whatever they used for the bankruptcy. I don't know how it's calculated. I'm not my bankruptcy attorney. I'm not my CPA. I know it's done right because I went through it with the bankruptcy judge line by line. So
is
I know
that
it's
where
correct.
that large number comes from? Is the bankruptcy number like how much debt you had?
Oh,
I'm trying to take a. Oh, I felt. I mean, you would know, right? I mean, if that's what
I don't know the total number of decades.
Seems like a pretty big moment in your life that you would know.
I know. I never, it's not a milestone. Oh man, I'm so happy I got $500,000 off my back.
I'm not saying it's a good milestone.
No,
but...
it's a horrible milestone. Something I want to move past and forget and get, put in the past. But
What?
I don't know. Maybe that's what that number is. But again, I don't know. I can't go line item by line item. I don't know. It's from years and years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And guys, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
you
good.
froze again.
You're good.
Jeez.
You're good.
You're
You're good.
freezing.
You're good.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they call me
That's
Mr.
me.
Freeze, so.
Okay. But yeah, like I can't, I don't have that. I don't know. I would assume, this is my assuming, that data includes anything that's considered associated with the business or not. I don't know. Again, I can, without going through it, because I'm not going to go through all of it anyway. That would be exposure to talk about all that stuff, I feel. Okay. A couple things that no one knows. I guess I have to. I didn't want to do this. I really don't want to do this, but again,
Phil, you do what you're comfortable with, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Is
I really
you
don't want to.
like.
Let me go put the paper away. I'm going to tell you. Okay, hold on.
This guy's a fucking weirdo, man. Fucking liar and a weirdo. Fuck
Okay.
this guy. Fuck this guy. Fucking.
All right,
forever.
I don't want to talk about shit, but I have to.
He's crying
Well,
now.
Well,
No,
I'm
you
in a
don't.
position, man.
You said like 30 minutes ago you don't give a shit, and it doesn't make a difference. So pick.
Why are you
a
crying?
Pick a place to stand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, I don't-
Now
Either-
why are you
Either
crying?
you don't give a shit and you're gonna move on and let the haters hate you no matter what because there's nothing you could do, or try to appease them. It's not. You can't be somewhere in the middle where you're like, I might appease you. I might
Adam,
actually do this. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Adam, I don't care
one
about
or the
them.
other.
I care about you guys. I care
So you're
about my
sick-
viewers. I care about
Right.
these neutral parties out there who've heard so much nasty stuff about me. At least have a place to listen and hear my side. That's what this is. And I appreciate you guys so much for giving me this time. I really do. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional now thinking of, but.
Because you're a liar, you
All
prick.
right, I'm just going to, fuck this. I'm going to do it. All
What?
right, I'm going to tell you
What?
a few things that
Say
no
it.
one knows without specifics. Okay?
Say
So
it.
it doesn't really put anyone under the bus.
Hurry up. Get
I've
to
been
it.
involved in a few different, legal things over the years. I've been involved with medical issues, my own health and my wife's. All right? And it's not stuff I should talk about with my audience. I don't
Like
want my
what?
audience to come to my stream and be like, I want to give you a tip because I found out that you have maybe a medical issue or something going on.
Like what?
That's not
Diabetes?
No one's business.
Diabetes.
What
medical issue do you have?
I said to my audience, if you're going to
Gout.
come to a
Cause of
DSP
gout.
gaming or a DSP React stream, please come
Cause of
support
gout.
me because you like me and my content. Okay? Don't come support me because you want to stick it to the haters. I don't want that.
You've
pity
got
party.
videos where you
Keep
say that. You've got videos where you
let
say
them
that.
Celebrate whatever. Come and just support me for my content. If I tell you stuff that's going on that are expenses, medical expenses, legal expenses, and it's again, I'm not going to tell you. I have some medical conditions.
Like what?
Okay?
Then
Gout.
Then this is your forum.
The
dude.
debt.
Like this is your forum, Phil. Right? If there's some sort of like medical condition that is causing you to live,
Of course you've got gout. You
paycheck
order
to
DoorDash
paycheck or
3
stream
times a
to
day.
stream,
You
and
order
pride
breakfast,
yourself
bro.
on
You can't even
transparency.
cook
I can't
eggs.
think of anything more
You order
transparent
toast
than
on DoorDash.
than just telling your audience
Supposedly
you have,
you're broke and you have no
something
money,
going on.
and you
And
order
like, you know
toast
what?
on
People are
DoorDash.
people, and they'll
Fucking
understand
toast.
that. Like,
Are you having
if
a
God
fucking
willing,
laugh?
I came out and I had cancer or something.
Fuck
bad
this guy,
happened,
bro.
I would-
It's
Fuck
not
this
that.
guy.
It's definitely not that. Okay?
What
I
is
don't
it
want
then?
Right.
anyone
Gout.
to trying to, again, this is not a pity party.
Is it AIDS?
It's not that. It's I have a few chronic lingering things.
Like
that come
what?
Back over the years, and then yes, there's a medical cost. There's deductible, of course. You have to pay to a certain amount. In a nutshell,
5,000
I've been
a
involved
month
with some
for your
legal
gout.
things, and I've been involved with some medical things.
What kind of cherry juice are you
And
buying?
Essentially, what's happened over the years is I can't really pay them because of the
Is this
financial
Whole Foods
situations
cherry
that I've been
juice?
in. Okay.
Did you pay any of those? Did you pay any of those things as business expenses?
Again, I believe, and I don't know if this is true.
He's
or not.
claiming
Isn't it
his
true
cherry
that
juice
certain-
as a business expense.
Like your health insurance premiums and stuff is covered or is a tax deductible.
Why are you asking us?
Again, I get asked this by my tax guy. I do. He says, what
Your
are
tax,
what are
your tax guy was asking
Asking you
this?
questions.
He said, I just got an email the other day that said, we need your breakdown of what you paid for premiums, if you had any medical expenses, if you had any of this. We need all this to file your taxes properly.
Tax guy.
It doesn't
So-
sound right, dude.
I don't know. Again, no, listen, please. here's the problem. I don't want people going over my tax guy. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He's a professional.
But he clearly doesn't, because even in tax issues,
exactly.
No.
Your whole life.
Issues are not, or from before this shit. They really are. I used to have tax issues with an old account. You might be getting the stories mixed. I used to have an old guy who fucked everything up. This person I have now has fixed everything. Okay. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. This guy is great, and I want people to understand that. Okay. But basically, okay, I have a few ongoing things. When you don't have credit anymore, okay, but you still owe. Some things can get erased, some things can't, all right, by a bankruptcy or whatever. And I'm in a situation where I have ongoing costs that I'm on payment plans for. Okay, not credit card. I can't get a credit card. I have no credit. My credit sucks because I have bankruptcy. No, I have payment plans. So for example, I incur a legal cost of several $1,000s. Okay, Phil, you don't have to pay that today. You can pay it slowly over time. Here's your payment plan. Right? With the IRS, I owe them back taxes. Phil.
Exactly, Domo. He was about to cry. Now look at him. Now look at him.
This amount every month. This is, you know what I mean? So that's where my money goes. I'm embroiled in all these ongoing things behind the scenes that absolutely no one needs to know about. Medical stuff, legal stuff that I'm going through, and tax stuff. And where does your money go? And then just think about this. I'm streaming 6 days a week full time. I'm stressed some days, you know? And then I got to come on my stream and hear you blew all your money on mobile games. My wife and me are feeling so much stress with this going on. And
pity party, victimhood.
We didn't go on a honeymoon. We got married. We haven't been on a trip since 2019.
That's your own fault. That's your own fault.
We understand, which is why, you know, we talked about therapy.
You bought a monitor. You bought a controller. You bought fucking, what's that thing called? For the internet, 3 of them when you didn't need them. You fucking disgusting pig.
Talked about all these things. We understand, right? We've talked about all these things, but you still haven't answered the question. I'm going to ask you this really directly, okay? On a month-to-month basis, how much money are you spending on WWE mobile games and or any other mobile games on a month-to-month basis? Are you spending on iTunes or any sort of mobile device?
Okay,
just a straight dollar amount. Whatever it is, it's okay.
Okay. This month, I have spent probably $10 to $15.
He's lying.
That is an honest answer.
He's lying.
And by the way, it wasn't on WWE Champions.
Somebody that's broke, that doesn't have any money, is not spending $10 to $15 of money that they're desperate for. Money that means their house might get repossessed, or, you know, their car game might repossessed. Their house might get taken away from them. They're not spending $10 on fucking mobile games. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
What was it on? Just curious.
Well, here we go. Because, you know, if I tell you, they're just going to blow it up. They're going to.
No, okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. If
they already said it's a new game. It's a Street Fighter game.
Ah, okay. The new Street Fighter one. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it good?
It's all right. It's one of those, you build a team of fighters, they fight against each other. It's not, you don't even actively play.
It's like tap RPG crap.
Similar, yes.
Okay.
And that was just for experimental purposes. I'm not playing it a lot. I'm playing every once in a while. You know, I'll spend $1 and get a bunch of stuff, you know. So I spend a couple dollars here or there. And of course, I will get destroyed for saying that I spent $15 on it, you know. I will.
You should, because you said you're broke.
Let me kind of move this along. We've been going for a long time, and thank you again, Phil, for your time. Appreciate it. We're approaching 4 hours. I got a few things that I want to make sure we hit on before we go.
Sure.
Before we can move forward. So number one, Keem is here, and Keem has said that he will be respectful, and he would love to talk. I think this is a tremendous opportunity to bury whatever hatchet or whatever it is you guys have and mend a fence. I think this is a tremendous opportunity. Are you open to that?
If you want him on the show to talk, I'm not doing business with this man under any circumstances.
Yeah, you established that. That's fine. That's not what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not trying to broker a business deal or anything like that. But are you open?
Yes, let's go.
That's what he even wants to talk about.
Let's go.
Stuff. I refuse.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's. Okay, I'm gonna bring him on. Right?
Wait. So you're okay with him coming on to talk?
As long as he's not going to sit here and insult me, or do, you guys have already asked me so many questions. I don't want him interrogating me too. It's your show, not his.
That's not. Right. I mean, Keem, he's watching obviously, so it's like that's not the case. We're the interviewers. He just said he agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. So look, we're gonna bring him on, and like
yes,
I think this is not a tremendous opportunity for friction.
Appreciate you.
There's an opportunity
Thank you for the
to build a bridge. So let's do
499.
this real quick.
Horse
KEEMSTAR,
lady
welcome
and
back to the
cat.
show.
You know
how
how
are
we
you?
do.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And Phil, thank you for letting me on to talk to you directly. I do mean what I said here in the chat, that I will be respectful. I'm not here to interrogate you, but I desperately want to represent my point of view in this situation between me and you.
Yes.
Because what I've heard listening to this podcast or this interview or whatever you want to call it is you describing problems that you have in your life, paying bills, being harassed by, your detractors or whatever. And I actively went out of my way to solve major problems in your life. And me and you are not friends. In fact, before I put together this business opportunity for you, me and you were fighting back and forth. It started with you on your podcast out of nowhere, reacting to me retiring when I turned 40. And you said, well, that guy's evil and, all these horrible stuff and blood money, whatever you said about me, because you don't like my show Drama Alert. And many of your detractors picked up on right away that the reason why you don't like my show and you don't support me is because we covered the situation in 2016.
Exactly.
That's
that is
completely untrue. Dude, you covered it fairly.
Go ahead, respond, Phil.
You covered it fairly. You didn't even really harp on it. One of your guys contacted me behind the scenes, said, do you have anything else to add? Do you want to be on the show? I was like, no. You covered it fairly. I don't think you were unfair at all. That's not the case.
Thank you, because I don't think I was unfair either.
No, not at all. Who told you that? That's bullshit. That's the detractors making shit up. I didn't ever say that.
Everybody jumped to that conclusion why you had such a hateful response to me retiring was because of that. Because we have no previous history, Phil.
Correct.
I've never talked to you. The only interactions I've ever had with you is just covering this one story about you.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you like
just,
me?
This is a great example of why I wanted to bring you on, because there's clearly a miscommunication somewhere along the lines, right? Clearly. So, Phil thought KEEMSTAR did this, KEEMSTAR thought Phil did this. All right. So we're in a better place, which is great.
So to move on from that, I see a clip and it's on Phil's stream. He's reacting to my retirement and he's saying I'm this horrible, evil person, and he doesn't support me. And I responded.
Hold on, Keem, is that true, Phil?
I don't know. I'm sure I've criticized him. I don't know specifically what he's talking about yet.
Okay, continue.
I don't know exactly what was said. I'm going off of memory, but it was something along those lines. The clip gets sent to me by multiple people. Okay. So I respond to Phil because the only thing I know about Phil is
exactly,
him
Domo. Imagine.
Him on stream begging for money to pay rent and stuff like that. That's all I know about him. So I responded to him on Twitter, which I thought was pretty clever, in gaming terms. And I explained to him that we are roughly the same age. We've been doing YouTube for 15 years each. We started at the same time. And I'm retiring now and I don't ever have to work again. So I have completed this video game of YouTube. And I said to Phil, you're still on level 1.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You're still on level 1 and you're restarting, level 1 over and over again, like a video game, and you're getting nowhere.
Look at the chat. Look at his face.
Where you're begging people on stream to pay your bills and whatnot. And I thought that was a good response, right? Even though I am talking trash and, we got a little drama going on for Twitter and whatnot. I thought that I was actually giving you good advice. And,
I was going to say that
is that advice or is that more like, because
that felt like a backhanded smack with, internet Twitter battles,
100%, 100%, but it's also advice, right? My point in those Twitter videos was that Phil needs to do something different. Imagine you're playing a video game. You're on level 1 and you try the same technique over and over again.
Exactly.
All right. And you're dying and you have to restart the level over.
Exactly.
You're never going to beat level 1.
Exactly.
That's the situation that Phil
and
has
he's proud
in.
of it.
Right. And Phil, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like
look his face
to that, or do you feel like that KEEMSTAR out of his way to kind of make you look a fool?
Well, first of all, the best way to give life advice is to, say it in an insulting way, for sure. I mean, makes everyone very receptive to it, correct?
Right.
Sure
Well,
to do a
fair
nice
point, but
slap at
Let him
someone
finish, Keem.
on Twitter. Is there some truth to it? Yes. Okay. But here's the thing: if you have a criticism of me, then criticize me fairly in a way where maybe I have a chance to have.
We don't have to. You're a prick. We don't
Instead,
like you.
You just go to your platform and you say something nasty about me on there. I'm a tiny little guy. Okay. When I say something on my stream, who hears it? A couple hundred people. Yes, my detractors then echo it. They extrapolate it all over the internet. Boom, it's amplified, correct? But I'm the little guy. You are a big guy, Keem. You're huge. You have a giant reach on the internet. Do you not understand that the stuff that you say and do has repercussions for everyone around you? You seem to be someone that you're not self-aware. You don't understand.
What?
You say something like that. No, I have to live with that shit for months on end. I get, you're on level 1. Ha ha ha, Phil, level 1. You've been for 15 years. You're just on level 1.
You made the
Do you think I
podcast
need
your
that?
name.
I already have enough shit in my life going on. So much stuff. I don't need Mr. Big Time punching down on me, which is what you do. That's
You're
why
playing
people don't
victim.
like you, man.
I didn't
How do
see
you
it.
not understand that?
I didn't see it that way. I saw a clip of you talking
Shit about
all
me.
kinds of shit on me.
Exactly.
Like,
and I replied.
unprovoked, and I just responded, talking
Exactly.
shit back.
Exactly.
But also giving you advice. That's the way I saw it. Anyhow, after that incident took place, months went by, and this bothered me because I saw the solution the entire time, that Phil needed to do something different. All right. I am a person that recognizes entertainment. I really, really get it. You got to understand, Phil, you have haters, you have detractors. So do I, but I have more. I have more than Wings of Redemption, DSP, and Boogie combined. I have way more haters, but I'm still successful, and I still have new business opportunities, and I'm still making money. I was supposed to retire a year ago, and I'm still doing new stuff and being successful in this platform because I understand this business very, very well. And even though you have that hate, they are viewers. They are your customers. The detractors are your customers.
Exactly.
The haters are your customers.
Exactly.
And they're more loyal than the people that give you money, that donate on your stream. The people that hate you
echoing
are way
that you're
more
talking
loyal.
about. That's like, you can't pay for that shit.
I mean, look at how many people are here. 2,500 people are here. It's just.
When's the last time you had 10 people on stream?
A legitimate fan base. Those haters, those people that don't like you, are your fans. And I wanted to solve this issue for not just you, but Wings and Boogie. I looked at all of you guys, you're lolcows, right? You have more haters than like supporters, right? But really, they're all fans. They are all fans. They're all obsessed with you and watching your content nonstop.
That's what makes lolcow special, though. What KEEMSTAR's saying is true. Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and DSP are lolcows personified. But what makes them amazing to watch and what makes them so easy to hate is that regardless of how much sense you speak to them, they can never, ever realize the sense you're speaking and kind of make those necessary changes in their lives. They can't see it. They just keep repeating the same mistakes. That's what makes them lolcows. No matter how many times they get burnt, they get embarrassed, they get mocked, they get ridiculed, they get laughed at. They just keep on doing the same things because it's the easiest thing to do, because it doesn't require any thought, any energy. He just sits there with this fucking ghoulish, white, pasty, weird 50-cent fucking head-shaped piece of head with his receding hairline and his droopy face and his snort sacks. He won't change. He'll go back tomorrow to having these tips goals, asking for subscribers, donation, memberships. Nothing will change. It'll just be the same old nonsense. That's why he's a lolcow, and that's why it's fun to watch him flipping, suffering misery in real time. What a loser.
The solution really is to get the three of you to do a podcast. All right. Those haters are going to watch. They're going to absolutely love that these three guys have come together to make content. Now, between the three of you, you guys don't have the business sense to
Exactly.
like really figure this out and make this thing actually happen. But I do. All right. And you guys don't even understand how valuable you are as individuals, as entertainers, because you look at the numbers and you're looking at everything and like, oh, well, I've fallen off. And, you know, that's the mindset that you have.
Yeah, macro,
right?
macro.
But I have a different mindset for each one of you, that you guys are amazing entertainers, but just not in the way
you think
that you want to be.
Exactly.
Right? You're lolcows, but there's so much value there. By putting the three of you together, and, you know, each one of you would own 25% of this podcast. All right. We never got to have this conversation. So I do want to have it now, even though I know you're not going to do it. All right. I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect of it. I've had many success selling podcasts to exclusive deals with Spotify and other companies, multi-million-dollar deals. All right. I wanted to put the three of you together for this show. I would do the business side of the things. And I knew that all three of you would be in a situation where you didn't really trust me, or you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And you'd have a lot of doubts. So I was just going to take my own money and take $150,000, give you each, just to start off before we even filmed an episode, 50 grand up front to let you know that I was serious and I believe in this.
But he prefers to beg. He wants to beg.
Idea.
Look him.
Now, I call Boogie first. I instantly get on the phone with Boogie. All right. He loves the idea. He understands it. He gets it. He reaches out to Wings. Wings is down. And now it's time to talk to DSP.
And he's the hardest one.
The way I understand it, called you, contacted you, and told you what was going on, right?
He DM'd me on Twitter, and we had a brief conversation back and forth in DMs.
And he told you that I wanted to do a podcast with the three of you, right?
Yes, I had no idea that's what you were trying to contact me about, because we never talked. But he said that there was this idea for a podcast.
So you did know.
So Boogie told you or didn't tell you?
Boogie told me that he and
he's a liar.
Had spoken to Keem, and that Keem wanted to do a podcast with all three of us. No money or anything.
Exactly, Mark Brennan. As much as I hate fucking DSP and I want to see him fucking... No, I'm not going to say the words. But as much as I hate the fucking guy, let's be real. That podcast would do fucking numbers, bruh. Numbers! It would be a hit show. They'd make so much money. Imagine if you got DSP, Boogie, and Wings to sit down and talk about politics. Do you know how dumb all three of them are? But they think they're really smart. Do you know how dumb things they would say about politics, about society, about relationships, like about YouTube drama? It would be a hit podcast. I'd watch it. I'd make content about it. It'd be amazing to see these fucking shut-ins that don't have any flipping, sense of reality, that don't operate in the real world, try and comment on real world things. Would be hilarious to watch in real time. And they all think they're better than each other. Did each other so on the show. The dynamic would be fucking cool to see. But DSP prefers to beg his fans for money. Of course.
Was discussed. He just say, he wants to do a podcast with all three of us. I didn't know that's what Keem was trying to reach out to me. I said maybe that's what it was. I never spoke with him.
Phil, hearing this, and hearing the business opportunity that was laid, I don't even know if it's still there or not. But,
it's not there.
What are your thoughts right now?
It's gone.
What Keem has said to you.
Thoughts? Like,
yeah.
you mean?
Yeah, just as he's laid this out. Like, lay out your
Thoughts?
feelings based on what KEEMSTAR has laid out for you.
Thoughts?
I have absolutely no problem doing anything with Boogie or Wings. In fact, I had the conversation with Boogie back and forth a little bit more later in the year. Would he be interested in?
I don't want to touch you.
With me or me being on his show or whatever, whatever it may be. These guys, I did a react about Wings last year about his documentary. That me doing a collab with them, just doing a fun podcast is not out of the question for the future.
But your issue is with KEEMSTAR and his business principles.
Correct.
Okay. So understand. So even if there's an opportunity for you to remove yourself from quote unquote level one and potentially have an opportunity further down the line to potentially sell the podcast to something and put 50 grand in your pocket initially, that's a 100% no-go for you.
Oh man. See, I didn't know you put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we do. That's an interview.
This is a discussion that cannot be just made by me. It has to be made by my wife. We have to talk about it because this was a discussion we had that, sorry, team. Can I criticize you fairly if I'm reasonable and don't, not under the belt? Can I be honest about you?
Sure, you can say whatever you want about me.
Sure.
But I just want to represent how I feel about the situation. I'm not done, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Keem, you are someone who, when you look at your history on the internet, it's very interesting. And I'm actually, I'm impressed with what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a documentary about you last year. You started off trolling people in Halo. I mean, holy shit. And you turned that into an empire of money on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's so admirable. And if anything, one of the things you absolutely need to be praised for is your determination. You were shut down time after time. False copyright strikes, real takedown requests, all kinds of shit. People wanted you off the net, right? You're still there. You never gave up. Damn, that's a success story. That's
Phil, it sounds familiar, dude.
Yeah.
I guess.
Literally sounds like you.
Exactly.
I don't
It's
really
true.
think about it like that.
We just heard
What?
the story, and you.
Same thing.
It is. Craig's absolutely right.
Okay. Now, at the end of the day,
Okay. Okay.
when you look at what Keem has done and what I have done, I'll probably be forgotten. I'll just be a fart in the wind, right? I got 100,000 videos on the internet. No one's going to remember DarksydePhil besides the guy who jerked off on stream. And, you know, probably this WWE Champions thing will go away eventually, just like everything else.
No, it
Who
won't.
cares?
It won't because you don't admit it.
Keem, you know, has a big body of work. He's known. But when you look at how Keem made his money, okay? Again, I'm going off documentaries and things I've seen. I mean, Keem, you have to openly admit that there were a lot of things that you've done that you probably have no issue with whatsoever. You always feel from your perspective, because there's always two perspectives on everything, right?
Holy shit, Phil! I gotta say, this is fucking rich coming from you. Right
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah,
you're
fine.
Exactly.
You're getting your information from the
Detractors
detractors
document exactly.
that Keem has.
Exactly.
And that's where you're basing this on. When this
Exactly.
whole episode,
Get him.
you've been talking
Get
about
him.
how much
Get
shit
him.
your
Get him.
detractors have made other people
Get
think
him.
about you.
Get
Like,
him.
Do you hear yourself right
Get
now?
him.
Indeed, I do. That's the nature
Okay.
of the
Get
business.
him.
That's how YouTube works, man. That's how all this works, right?
Fuck, man.
Fucking
You're right.
no. Hypocrisy.
So, from what I've heard and seen about Keem, you know, I call them a misery broker. All right, Keem, on a day when you have a good day, it's because someone else is having a bad day. Someone else has drama going on. Someone else has horrible things happening in their life. It's your good day, man. It's time for you to blow that up, and then you interject like a shoe wedge. Get into that life. Get into that drama, right? You gotta be a part of it. And now get them on your show so that you can pull this out to be not just a one-time thing, but now it's going to be pulled on for weeks and weeks. If there's something,
Phil,
there's
do you
some
know
milk
the
for
internet
profit,
at all?
keep going.
Exactly.
Do you
Oh,
know
I
the internet at all?
Yes, I do.
Do you see who's successful on the internet? I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I would probably be more successful if I talk shit on people, but like I don't, and you know, like I do what I can because that's just where I'm at, you know. So it's like you can't be upset when people use the algorithms for their advantage, which
Here's the
Keem
thing.
seems to have figured out.
You're right. And at one point I was a really stupid, jealous guy. Man, I feel
You
like
still
I'm
are
doing
jealous.
content that's
You
not
still are
helpful to
stupid.
anyone. I'm just
You
doing
fucking
gameplay.
prick.
I'm dicking around on the internet here with my viewers. And this guy gets over and he's doing this drama content. People are saying it's hurtful. You know, you're right. At the same time,
Exactly, Fly Society. He's upset with ambulance chasers despite him stealing from his own fans. You couldn't get more richer than that, could you? The hypocrisy is fucking thick. Thick, brother. It's like icing on a fucking wedding cake. You can't even get to the sponge. The icing is so thick. You're digging your fucking fingers through the icing. I know that looks weird, but I'm digging my fingers through the fucking icing. I'm trying to get the fucking sponge and I can't because the hypocrisy is fucking spatula thick. That's it. Fucking hell.
everyone has what's called a moral compass, correct? And you know, I've been talking about this on my streams
right?
recently. I was raised a Roman Catholic. All right, I'm not religious anymore, by the way, so this is not like an excuse. But
I like when he goes
I
his
grew up with
autopilot.
certain morals, all right, and values. And to me, if the only way that I can get over on the internet or just get over in life is by stepping on other people, I'm not going to step on those people. I would rather be. The
I don't
guy
think
over
that's
here
what
on
I
the
don't think that's what
periphery.
Keem's doing when he's making videos. You know, I see, yeah, D-Day Cobra. Shout out to him. I saw him in chat earlier. You know, and tweeted us out. Thank you, buddy. He talks shit on anyone. Like he'll freaking, you know, he monetizes the haters better than anyone I know.
Right.
And
Well,
I've talked to him personally off air, and he's a fucking great guy, and like has a good moral compass to me. I don't think talking shit about people on the internet somehow changes who you are, right? As your moral compass. I mean, you said moral compass. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
can I ask Phil a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Phil, listen. All right. If me running Dromeler is like taking advantage of people's misery, right? Because the way I understand it, for how you're explaining it, is like a YouTuber will get canceled, and then I cover the story on my platform, or you had the fappening, right? And I covered the story on my platform that I'm making money off of other people's downfalls, right? That's the way you see it.
Yes.
Well, there's people on YouTube that run documentaries on important things that happen on the internet. They're also in the same situation. Correct?
Exactly. Frederick Nansen.
What do you mean by that?
They're making money. They're making money on a newsworthy story on the internet.
Like factual reporting of things that are happening, like a news network. Like, what do you mean?
Of course. And then I inject my opinion on these stories as well. But there are YouTubers, right? They're commentators, and then there's commentators that do like documentary style stuff that cover drama on the internet. You're saying that every single one of them is accepting blood money because they're voicing their opinions on what's going on.
Well, simply voicing your opinion is one thing, Keem, but let's take a look at your history here. There's been documented cases where you've actually staged stuff and extrapolated drama in situations where it didn't really exist. There's evidence of this. People have admitted
Explain
to
that. Explain that.
Yeah, tell me more. I'm not aware of these.
The documentary I watched last year about June the King made this one. And I guess there was a situation with a YouTuber, and I forget if he was a Minecraft YouTuber or another YouTuber. And, originally he appeared supposedly as an upfront, honest guest on KEEMSTAR's show covering this drama. I think it was allegations that he had been with underage girls or something like that. Okay. Come to find out, later on, the whole, or at least part of it, was orchestrated between the two behind the scenes. Like, I guess he wanted to get back at someone, his ex or his current girlfriend, and Keem participated in that setup situation.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That doesn't even sound legit whatsoever. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have the right to deny it. That's fine.
But,
you know what? It's out there. Just so you know, that shit's out there, man.
But I just want to say, like, you participated in supporting a YouTuber, all right, that covered a story on my misery, right? If I supposedly did something wrong, you watched and supported another YouTuber doing exactly what Dromeler does.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
And on top of that, just to kind of reiterate this, like, once again, Phil, you're telling KEEMSTAR that he has the right to deny that because he's saying it didn't happen, even though you're saying there's a mountain of proof in this documentary, right? The same thing is being said to you right now about your WWE legends and everything like that, and you have the right to deny it too, even though there's a mountain of evidence through documentaries online.
Correct. But the difference, Keem, to respond to your point, sorry, a lot of just came up. The documentary is
fuck out of here, DSP
not
Flacco.
just negative stuff about you. Okay, you understand? The documentary is actually covering your entire history. I've learned a lot of things about you that I find very admirable and very positive by watching that. It really did cover factually.
Fuck you and your backhanded compliments. We don't need it. We don't care.
No, factually. How do you know it's factual? I'm just curious. It's on the internet, so it must be true.
I know. Phil, real quick.
Exactly.
I see documentaries on DSP, but you on the show said half of the stuff's not even true. So I'm confused. Is the internet 100% trustworthy or not?
No, exactly.
Because when it's about me, it's all facts.
When it's you, exactly.
You, it's all lies.
Exactly.
I'm confused.
It's not all facts, and it's not all lies. It's always somewhere in between, right? We all know that. We're not stupid. We're not born yesterday. When you watch that documentary, you gotta kind of suspend your disbelief. Say, hey, okay, believe it or don't, right? Make your own judgments.
So you chose to believe this one when it came to Keem.
Basically.
In a couple of particular cases, I'm not saying that one documentary is the only thing I've ever heard about Keem. There's been
Keem's out here smoking cigarettes.
That's what you're referencing a lot so far. So that's what
bad boy.
Can we come to the conclusion that me and you both have a bad reputation? We're controversial figures, but one of us is wildly more successful.
I wouldn't even say I'm successful at all. So yeah. Sure.
KEEMSTAR, continue with what you were saying. Okay, I think we've established this. KEEMSTAR, continue with what you were talking about.
KEEMSTAR's dunking on him.
Reached out to
He's
Boogie Wings and DSP. 50 grand on the table to start the podcast. Continue.
So knowing how to help all three of them, all right, and then also creating a business opportunity for myself, right? It is all these things combined. And not only just helping DSP, Wings, and Boogie, and myself, because this is a brilliant idea, but it's also helping every single person that's in this chat right now. It's also helping every single one of your haters, every single one of your guys' actual supporters. Everybody wants this content. This is a win. This is a golden opportunity. So knowing this and wanting to reach out to help you, I found you to be so incredibly difficult to work with.
Exactly.
Boogie already contacted you and told you that this was about a podcast. I publicly tweeted, reach out to me, $50,000, and you ignored me. Then we finally start talking in DMs, and your response is, well, email me because I want to set up a call. We're already talking in DMs on Twitter. Why can't we just jump on a call and talk right away? We're already communicating. You tell me to go email you. That's that is so weird from my perspective. If I reach out to the biggest YouTuber on the platform, Mr. Beast, and I text him, hey, we got to get on the phone. I got to talk to you about something. I'm going to talk to him within 12 hours. And this is a wildly more busy guy. Than all right. And that's the biggest YouTuber on the platform. This is how content creators communicate with each other. We don't, email each other. Like, we have managers to do that stuff. We have lawyers to do that stuff. I have a team of people that will get in an email. I don't get in an email ever. I'm never in a Gmail ever. You know, this is, what are you talking about? That was so disrespectful to me. When I'm just communicating you in Twitter DMs, we're talking back and forth, and you're telling me I have to email you in order to get on a call.
Joe Biden.
Confused by that, but I play along. All right, I think one of my people may have emailed you or something. I got a phone number. We set up a scheduled time when we're going to call and we're going to talk about this. And I call you during the scheduled time, and you don't answer the phone. And then I get a message back saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was streaming. I told you I work at this time." Even if that is true, and you were streaming, that stream is not more important than my phone call and my opportunity. It's not.
Phil, what do you think about that? Do you think that's accurate? You have an opportunity to put
make
5 figures in your pocket,
50,000,
and you
look his face.
Kind of give us your mindset there, because
it's all semantics. Because who cares how you're talking or whatever? First of all, Craig knows how to contact me. He contacted me to be on this show. It was pretty straightforward. Wouldn't you say, Craig? It was pretty easy to reach out to me. It wasn't hard to reach me, was it?
No, I emailed you. Yeah, it was easy.
And when we were able to talk back and forth pretty reasonably with no issue, correct? I don't think we ever had an issue, right?
No. I think what we're hearing here is...
hold on. You think Craig is a big YouTuber, though? Come on. Look at this guy.
Oh, no. I'm not even saying...
Hey, once upon a time, buddy. Once upon a time.
This has nothing to do with size. This has to do with just being reasonable. If someone has a business contact line, said, this is the best way to contact me, please do it. But instead, you go to your giant audience on Twitter and you just scream, I want DSP to contact me immediately, $50,000 on the line. It's hostile. It's disrespectful.
Don't get me wrong. Keemstar was being a bit of a cunt. He knows what he was doing. He was basically trying to sun DSP in a kind of way. But I'm sorry. If you're DSP and you're struggling for money, sometimes you're going to have to do some shameful stuff. And you're already doing shameful stuff by begging your fans for money to pay for your groceries. What's more shameful than getting on your knees and replying back to Keemstar on social media? It's not that bad of a thing to do. Considering what he already does, it's quite shameful. Very shameful, right? Asking for money from your fans to take your fucking wife on dates is fucking insane. Especially when you already earn 100,000 regardless of the fucking tips on its own. That's loony. Just lower your ego and your pride and just accept the deal. Come on, man. Exactly. Domo, pride comes before the fall. Horrible.
Respectful. It's unprofessional.
So you got triggered and were on the defensive immediately when you saw that from Keem. You did not see that he was actually reaching out to help. You know,
no, even not at all. I didn't even know. People had to tell me in my chat this was happening.
So according to like what I've just heard, you were talking shit about him retiring, and he jokingly responded and kind of slapped you a lighthearted slap with a glove, but said, "You know what? I'm gonna hook you up anyway." That's the vibe I'm getting. And you were stuck on that. What year was this, by the way? Just because I kind of have a... So this was recent.
Yeah, roughly a year ago.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a little further back. I mean, it feels like, Phil, you're in this this time of like you're trying to find that way past this spot that you're in, and I don't mean to like call anything out, but it does feel like that's being stuck on level 1.
Exactly.
Right? It feels like, I mean, shout out to Keem for like actually reaching out after you were talking shit. Like that's not something that happens. And if he was truly trying to help you out, like that's kind of surprising. I wouldn't, if someone was talking shit about me and I was as successful as Keem, I'd been like, fuck this person. I wouldn't even acknowledge them, especially as you say, it was just some small time. I don't remember what wording you chose, that you weren't even successful in your own mind.
But him talking shit to me isn't a personal thing, right? It's an opportunity for me to make a Twitter video and make some entertainment for my audience. Like when I go on the internet,
that's how you internet right there.
When I go on the internet, I'm not thinking about, will people like me? Will people hate me? I'm thinking, let me make a piece of content that people will enjoy watching, whether they like me or hate me or whatever.
Exactly.
Let me make some piece of content that people are interested in. That's all I ever think about when I come to the internet, is serving viewers. All right.
Phil, hold on real quick. Phil, are you okay with this? You know, I don't want, just with this conversation, you know, I mean, you came on to do an interview with me and Craig. You know, it was a tough interview. You know, we dove deep into throughout, you know, what was going on, and you weren't prepared for, I didn't know that KEEMSTAR would be on the show today. I didn't know either. This all just kind of happened naturally.
This is the internet.
As the guest on my show, I just wanted to ask you if you're cool. Like, I would love for this to continue. I just want to make sure you're cool with it.
I'm okay with this, but I mean, obviously, we want to get back to the other topics too, right? I mean, we kind of put everything on pause at the Keem. And
we will, sure, but I think something good is happening here,
exactly.
Right? We're working through things. We're understanding what each perspective is.
Holding his feet to the fire. Look at this, man.
I understand KEEMSTAR's
doesn't want to talk to Keem at all. He hates him.
I got a question for you, Keem. Is this? You don't mind if I call you Keem, do you?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Everyone
cool.
calls me Keem.
All right. All right. Is the offer still there for this to happen?
No.
I mean,
if Phil is open to it,
I would say potentially, but not really, right? You know, I took Wings of Redemption and Boogie 2988, who were willing to work with me and understood this business opportunity. And I'm setting up a boxing match between the two of them, and I'm going to break the internet with this. All right. This is a awesome opportunity for Wings, an awesome opportunity for Boogie. This is going to be broadcasted on May 13th, and I haven't even announced this anywhere yet. This is an exclusive. It's going to be free to watch.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be free to watch. And
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Of course.
Since I am the guest, right?
Of course.
Yeah, please ask. Yeah.
Keem, again, I understand your reasoning here. You're saying I'm just making content people want to see, right? Is there any line that you won't cross when it comes to content that you think people want to see that you can make profit on? Do you have any kind of restraint? Do you ever feel that morally something is too far? Because I personally and many others hear this about this boxing match coming up. Okay, now let me give you my perspective. Okay. Wings of Redemption, Boogie, two desperate guys. We all know they're down on their luck. They could definitely use some money, right? We all know this. They publicly project that to the internet. They're both, technically, from what we can see and understand, they're kind of unhealthy. Maybe not. Who knows? But you only know what they project, correct? Do you not feel that having two people like this, overweight, possibly unhealthy, doing a boxing match against each other so that everyone on the internet can laugh at them, could possibly, just possibly, be either putting them in harm's way or maybe be considered morally reprehensible because of the repercussions that could happen during this match?
Do you not think they're adults that they can make their own decisions, though, Phil?
That's
I'm
fine.
just curious.
I mean, anyone can make their own decisions.
I'm sorry, Keem. Please answer them.
Let me respond. All right. Every single influencer boxer, whether they're healthy or not, is putting themselves in harm's way for entertainment.
Exactly.
They're all
that's
warriors,
the point
and
of
they all
that's the
deserve
point.
respect.
That's the point of it.
Wings of Redemption and Boogie haven't gotten any respect. In fact, it's disrespect. Very similar to you. All right. And by doing this, they will get respect. Whether people laugh or not, they are going to get respect
Exactly.
for jumping in that ring.
Exactly.
But
And
you mentioned
training.
that they're unhealthy. Of course they're unhealthy. But I can tell you right now, behind the scenes, and nobody knows this, both of them have actively already lost weight training for this fight.
Exactly.
This is a positive thing
exactly.
in both of their lives. And I don't think either one of them have the ability to seriously hurt the other. Do
exactly.
you? do you think they're in real danger by fighting each other? I think these are equal opponents.
Exactly.
This is not a serious boxing match, Keem. They're not boxers. They don't know anything about boxing. These are two overweight guys that are going to go at it, swinging. You know.
Are you going to watch?
No.
Yes, you are.
No,
yes,
I'm not.
Are.
I don't watch
believe
that
you.
crap. I don't watch your crap.
Phil,
Are you out of your
Phil,
mind?
you know who is gonna watch it, Phil?
Everyone else.
Everyone. Great answer. That's exactly what I would have said.
I just don't believe you. It really comes down to what I just said a little while ago. When I look at like making content for the internet and doing stuff like this, my question is, will this serve viewers? And I know it will. I know so many people are gonna.
To be fair, I do kind of respect Phil for standing on the fact that he doesn't fuck with KEEMSTAR, and regardless of how morally irrepensible and fucking disgusting DSP is, at least he has some level of like, this guy I don't fuck with and I hate him. No matter what he does wrong, he thinks Keem is worse. Okay, so he doesn't fuck with him at all. He's willing to sacrifice 50K. He's not gonna watch his content. He doesn't give a fuck. So that I kind of can respect a little bit, but it's still rich coming from him.
Tune in. I know so many people want to see this, and I don't believe you when you say you're not going to watch this. I think you are going to watch this fight.
You're so mistaken. You have known nothing about me then, dude.
Well, let's ask this, Phil. And this is just my morbid curiosity. If there was an opportunity for you, Phil, to do something physical, box, whatever.
Of course he wouldn't do it. Look at
look
his arms.
Look
at his arms.
YouTuber opportunity.
Of course not.
Would you be open
of course
to that?
not. Look at his arms.
To anything like that?
No, wouldn't do it.
Of course.
No? That's not what I'm about. I'm on the internet to share my passion for games.
For games and to beg meaningful content.
Call them. I'm not here to make a mockery of myself or, do a publicity stunt. I don't do that kind of stuff. People will say I do. Whatever. It's your perspective. From my perspective,
you wear vests and hats for money.
My viewers doing
you blow bubbles into a fucking camera.
Of grandeur or anything
you did a
like
2K
that. I don't want to blow up because I did a internet
fish.
boxing match with someone.
You are a clown.
It's so stupid to me. Immature,
that's
honestly.
fine, Phil. If I could finish why I'm frustrated and explaining myself. Because look,
that's cool,
this all started with me retiring and you having, a bad opinion on me, and then us having that metaphor of, you being on level 1. Like I really did retire like a year ago. I pretty much did retire. Now I'm doing DLC, but I'm not paying for the DLC. The DLC is paying me, and I'm doing more and more and more and more stuff in this space because I just love it so much. And it comes from a place of you absolutely loving what you do and loving these video games. You know who else likes video games? Wings and Boogie. You don't think the three of you on a podcast would be a good thing? You guys talking about games, giving your opinions, talking about current events and whatnot. You don't think that's a positive thing?
Keem, I just said right here on the show, I would love to do a show with those guys. I'm friendly with them. Behind the scenes, I have conversations.
So when I couldn't get a hold of you and I called you multiple times, it wasn't once and you ignored, it was multiple times. I kept calling, I kept DMing you, and you said, oh, I'm streaming now, and da-da-da. A couple weeks went by.
By the way, that's false what he's saying, but I'll let him keep going. It's fine. Whatever. Believe it as fact,
No. We want to hear your perspective. That's what we're doing here.
Did he not call you multiple times?
He called me at least once, maybe twice, but I think it was just once. It could have been twice.
The amount of times that you've said during this interview that you don't really remember is shocking.
Because I don't document this stuff. Why do I care?
But how can you say with such certainty that it wasn't you, or that he didn't call, or that all these things? If constantly, I'm just calling it out. Or, I'm not trying to come at you, but that I've just noticed that a lot. So now you say actually he called maybe twice. Could it have been 3 times? Could it have been 4 times?
It definitely wasn't
didn't even
3 or
notice.
4. It was 1 or 2.
How do I know?
3 or 4. I'm
just
Well,
I specifically remember when he called me during a stream, and I'm like, who's calling me? And then when I went on a break, I opened my phone. I'm like, this must be him because I don't have his phone number. I'm assuming this must be him because of you get locations tied to phone numbers or whatever. And I'm like, why is he calling me when I gave him these specific times to call me? He's calling me when I said I was busy.
But even then, Phil, you may be busy, but there's a call worth potentially 50 grand plus more on the backside of this that could take 10 minutes. I mean,
change your life.
And once again, your true fans will understand. Look, I had to get on a phone call. This is a really important business call. I appreciate you guys. And you know what? They're going to stay there with you. They're going to stay there watching because they want to know what's happening. They want to know more about this. Like the idea of not taking a call just because you're streaming, like your fans will understand that, man.
Exactly. 50K
no,
opportunity.
Again, I didn't even know that was him. I didn't have his number. You know, I'm checking after the fact during a break or whatever.
Why didn't you call him back?
But the fact that this guy can't call me when I'm giving him the times to call was baffling to me. So first, he won't. The true interaction here, I had to DM him. He wouldn't contact me. I had to DM him. He would not talk further in the DM about what this was until I demanded it. I'm like, dude, just tell me what you're talking about to see if I'm interested. I don't want to get on a call with you unless you just say, what if he had said something I'm totally not interested
in? Why didn't you just get on the phone? What? Oh, God almighty.
in at all? I can say, no, we're not even bothering with it. He wouldn't, I had to like pull strings to get him to even say, oh, okay, I want you to be like a host on a show. And then he wouldn't even talk any further. He demanded a phone call. I give him my number. I give him the specific times to call. He calls the wrong times.
Well,
right?
guys, according to what I hear from Keem, hold on, I just want to say this real quick. According to what I'm hearing from Keem, he was going to put up $150,000 to do a show with you know 3 guys. Like that's a risk. That's him investing a lot of his income to try to help these guys, for including yourself. And I think a phone call, wanting to do it over a phone call is like
normal.
Just that's nothing in comparison to what he's trying to do. All right, I just needed to say that.
And Phil, listen.
Do you want to know why I don't like the phone call idea? Why I wanted it in writing? Would you like to know?
In just a second, KEEMSTAR, go ahead.
Phil, now that we're talking about this and we're communicating for the first time back and forth, all right, I can tell just by how you're reacting and what you're saying back to me that you actually understand that this was a great opportunity.
Exactly.
And that's why.
Look his face. He's missed out on 50K.
Why we needed to be on the phone is so we could actually communicate. We could hear each other's voice. We could talk this thing out. You can ask me questions. The text conversation, the emails back and forth. All right. That's not like really how business gets done. That's how contracts get done. That's how managers communicate back and forth and do deals. But like when we're at the very beginning of an idea and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this business, it has to be like real communication back and forth in a phone call, like it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it was so important for me to get on the phone with you.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree? Does it make sense to you, Phil?
What I was gonna say was the reason I wanted it in writing was very simple. Right? Again, you have to understand, Keem, you have a lot of stuff that's said about you on the internet. You know that. We've agreed to that.
But
right?
so do you.
I'm so sick of hearing that from you.
It's so frustrating.
If I'm
going to
deal with this guy, if I'm going to deal with this guy, I want our conversation in writing. Because what's to stop me from getting on the phone with Keem, having a conversation, and the next thing I know, he completely lies about what we just talked about to get drama on his content.
Phil, that's like me going to Craig. Like,
oh my God, this guy's a fucking idiot, isn't it? He thinks so highly of himself. He's so paranoid. What a fucking
hell
bitch.
no. I hear all this shit about Phil. I don't want him to come up here and start fucking wanking it on the show live. You know what I mean? That's like me believing what is on the internet when I think this was actually it was a tough, but it was a good show, you know, and it was a chance for you to come clean and like really try to tackle some of the shit that's out there. But it's like you're using the same kind of shit that people.
Oh, for
People
fuck's
have been
sake.
using it against you, but you're using it against Keemstar. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't listen. I don't trust
You
the
you
guy.
do
I just
hear, you
don't.
do see
I don't
it, right?
trust him. I do not trust Keem.
But once
You
again,
don't
sorry.
know me. We've never
Right.
even talked.
Exactly.
How do you not trust the man when you're getting your information from the internet? The internet is not a real place.
I can tell you this. I do business with
DSP
the
is so
biggest
paranoid.
content creators on this entire planet. All right. I don't just run a show called Drama Lord. I develop video games. I represent YouTubers. I get them brand deals. One of my companies represents the biggest streamer on the planet. I have a long business history with FaZe, Mr. Beast. Like, you don't know anything about me. You don't, right? But if we had a conversation and you got to learn about me and what I've done and the business opportunities that I've created for this industry for the last...
It would make more sense if he had intimate knowledge of Keemstar's business and just wanted nothing to do with it. The fact that DSP is willing to sacrifice 50,000 just because he doesn't like a couple of documentaries about Keem, or maybe because he took the piss out of him wanking, is really level 1 material. Level 1 material. He'd rather beg his audience than hear a guy out. Maybe get him on the phone. If he still sounds like a cunt to you, don't do the deal. All well, all good. Not all money is good money. Fair enough. But the guy didn't even want to hear him out. He didn't want to hear him out, man.
15 years, your opinion of me would be wildly different than you watching a drama documentary about...
Get you some nice internet, my man.
You guys are killing me. Thank you, Ricky Picture. It's not my internet, to be honest. It's mostly my computer. It's not my internet, but thank you. My internet's not too bad, but it's hilarious. Yo, this stream is I'm not buffering. This is a video, so it's mostly my internet. It's not me. It's the internet. See, I've been infected with DSP. I didn't do it. It's the internet. It's not my fault. I'm just pressing buttons. But big up, Ricky. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Me and DSP are getting insulted on our stream. DSP is getting interrogated, and people are criticizing my internet and calling me poor. Ah!
About me, something that you're against, like, this is blood money, but that's where you got your information from.
It talked a lot positively about you. Why do you think I watched a drama video about you? That's not what I watched.
So it talked positively about me, but by watching it, you had a negative view of
exactly.
That doesn't. It's
no,
not
I told you.
up.
I respect you immensely, but I don't know. After all, it's not just that. There's other things too. Other people that have said things about you and their dealings with you. I have to kind of be protective of myself and my business and my family.
Was there ever?
I
was
feel
there
there's
ever a
risk of being
story?
involved with you? I do. I feel there's a risk that I could be, hung out to dry somehow.
I know that there's multiple things that I've done wrong in my career, like 1,000%. I have said outlandish things in the attempt of making entertainment and entertaining people. In 2015, one of the biggest things, my team got a story wrong, and I went on air with the story wrong and falsely accused someone of being a pedo. It was wrong identity. It wasn't even the same guy. All right. If you look at that story and actually look into it, the person that exposed Keemstar for that and brought that to the internet was Keemstar.
To contribute to a better PC.
Big up, Domo. Yeah, exactly. We're blaming the PC, blaming the internet, but we're not blaming me. Big up, Domo Creole. Big up, Domo Creole, for the $6. Appreciate you. We're blaming everybody apart from me. It's the internet's fault. It's Barack Obama's fault. It's fucking Margaret Thatcher's fault. Richie Sunak's fault. Boris Johnson's fault. DSP's fault. Keem's fault. It's everyone's fault but me. Appreciate you.
Exposed myself for getting it wrong. I right away tried to make it right with that guy, offer him 20 grand. This is like back in 2015. If you actually look into any of this stuff about me, you're going to see Keemstar saying wild effed up stuff, and he's definitely wrong. But you're going to see Keemstar making mistakes and trying to make amends for it if you actually take the time to look into it. Now, you're on this show asking these audience, this detractors, these gentlemen running this podcast to treat your story and what's said about you fair. I should have gotten the same respect from you, or at least a respect to get a phone call just so we could better know each other.
Phil,
but that didn't happen. And if I could finish, because I'm almost done with representing, you know, my point in all this. I called him multiple times. I couldn't get a hold of him. It rubbed me the wrong way right from the beginning when he was trying to send me to an email, which made no sense to me.
Please stop stealing Wi-Fi from Starbucks, mate.
Look up the car's data note. Why are you guys doing this to me, man? I've got BT Wi-Fi, man. It's pretty good. BT Wi-Fi is strong. It's strong Wi-Fi. Come on, man. But big up the car's data node. Appreciate you, man.
I went on YouTube, and because I was looking up DSP stuff, you know, doing research for the podcast, the algorithm like sent his live stream in my feed, so I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil
with the DDoS protection.
What is going on? DDoS protection. Thank you. Solidarity with DDoS protection. Big up Seven Sins Music. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, brother.
Begging for money to pay rent and utilities, and I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that like you're doing this right now. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you the greatest opportunity you've ever been offered in your entire career. Phil, if this podcast was a success, all right, everyone in the chat and you are looking at $50,000. It wouldn't be $50,000. This podcast would make millions. It would be a wild success. It would be a brand.
Look at DSP's face.
This is something that would be clipped on TikTok.
He's starting to realize it.
YouTube Shorts.
Look at him.
Instagram. People would talk about this, just like you're being clipped on your little live stream now, except for we would have an opportunity to monetize.
Exactly.
Phil, do you understand kind of the?
Look at DSP's face.
You know, obviously,
bodied.
I think what Keem is saying, he has this business experience.
And his podcast, he's proud to have a podcast called Level 1 Podcast. Because we're happy to be out here on Level 1. La, 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 la. You fucking ghoul. Snort Sax McGee.
That's right. He's offering you an opportunity. You turn the other way. But there's a lot of things that you're saying today. You're talking about, you know, Keem making mistakes, saying things, doing business the wrong way. That can also be said about yourself. And the things that you're saying are very, I mean, it's like holding a mirror up to yourself, because I feel like there's actually a lot of similarities between Keemstar making mistakes. You've made mistakes, things that we touched on during this podcast, right? You do understand the similarities between what your argument is for not wanting to work with him and the reason why you have so many detractors.
Sure. What I would say is the difference between me and Keem, outside of wild amount of popularity difference, is that if you take a look at the body of work that I've done in the 15 years I've done it, all right, you would say, has Phil ever really outright with anything he's done actually concretely hurt someone to the point where, like, you know, wow, what a heinous person. People will say that about Keem.
Yeah, you have.
They will say that about Keem, okay? And at the end of the day,
and they'll say that about you.
When I have to make business decisions about who I'm going to associate with and who I'm not going to,
it's fucking rich coming from him. Oh my god!
And it's a moral factor.
Oh my god!
It has nothing to do with Keem's business sense. Keem, you are a great
god.
businessman. Everyone knows that. I think you would actually run the podcast very.
Ket and Beer and Cheeks are to blame for the lag, not you. Damn you, Ket.
You guys are fucking killing me. Big up I Am Sin. Thank you for the $4.99. Beer and Cheeks. I know about the Ket and the beer. I don't know what you're talking about in the cheeks. I have no idea what you're talking about the cheeks. You are slandering my name and you are putting false rumors and narrative about me. Have you not seen what DSP is going through? Have you not seen what this guy is going through? No, that guy, right? That guy is going through. Have you not seen it? I am sin. You are lying on my name. Do not besmirch me with these fake allegations and these lies. I have not known a cheeks. I do not know where a cheek is. I am not close to a cheek. And I don't even have cheeks. I don't see them. You know? I'm a believer in Christ only. Let's get back to the stream. But thank you, I am sin, for the $4.99. I appreciate you. Big up.
Very, very well. I do. I would love to do this podcast with Boogie and Wings. I have a problem with you morally, dude, with the content you put out. I do. And
I'm gonna let him respond. Let him respond to that.
Listen, you just said that you've never hurt anyone, right? And you talking trash doesn't hurt me. That's just an opportunity, right? But when you treated me the way you did behind the scenes, this sounds like bullshit coming from me, but you hurt me. I was offended. I was hurt. Like, why are you treating me like this? Why can't you treat me like a man? And
Big up Ricky Picture.
No more beer and cat, only white magic from now on.
Yes, brother. You know about that white magic. You know about that white magic, right? You know about white magic. You know about that. We call it chalk. I'll show you some white magic, actually. Let me show you some white magic. Let me fucking show you some white magic. You see? This is some of that white magic, yeah? Look, this is some of that white magic. You see that? Do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? This is some of that white magic. It's not really. It's just chalk I use for the gym. But this is representative of some of that white magic. You see that there? There it is. There it fucking is. A fucking white magic sometimes. Oh, fuck. Got to stream. But big up Ricky Picture, brother. I appreciate you.
Why can't we have a conversation? If you came to the conclusion that, no, I don't want to do this, this isn't right for me, that's fine. But you really showed me no respect at all. It was so disrespectful how you were treating me, making me email. I have to call at a certain time. I'm calling and you're not answering the phone.
Exactly.
And then when people were asking, your fans asking online, why didn't you do this podcast with Keem? During this whole time, I forgot to mention this, he was still talking bad about me publicly.
Exactly.
Keem, you just said it. Like, just what you just described is probably the main reason.
Yo, big up Ironson.
You are
Cheeks from last night's stream got you lagging. Can't Scott Uto spreading the lies.
And you think that you're the most important thing. You tweeted on your Twitter that I should contact you about a business.
You gotta replay that. That was brilliant. I am Sin's fucking flaming me today. I don't know what I've done to I am Sin, but I appreciate the flames.
Cheeks from last night's stream got you lagging. Can't Scott Uto spreading the
Yeah,
lies.
you know about that. You know about that. Cat stream lagging and shit. You know about that. You know about that. You know. Woo! Let's go. Oh God. Let's play this.
No one does that. They contact the person about the business opportunity directly.
We all do it. We all do it.
Yeah,
It's the internet, Phil.
Phil, it's
Like,
the internet, man.
well,
Yeah.
you said you've been doing this for 15 years, but like, do you not understand the way algorithms work, the way anger is addictive, and how people are hooked on crazy shit? Go ahead.
I want no part of that drama. I don't
Phil,
want to be
Phil,
on a
Phil,
podcast that is going to be about that. I don't want to be involved with someone.
That's not what he was. I don't even
this
know
is
what the
egomaniacal
podcast was
what
going to
he's
be about.
saying. He's being egomaniacal. I have to just listen
Phil,
to what he just
I'm
said.
not.
Keem,
Phil.
you just said my whole life should have stopped because you wanted to contact me. Really?
I did
my
not say that.
whole life. You
No,
just
he
said,
didn't say that.
Answer
I
the
did
call
not
at
say
any time. Even though I
Phil,
gave you the times to call me.
Can I
Answer the
give
call
you
at
some
any time at
context?
all.
Can I give you some context? From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, every single day, I talk to at least 20 different content creators. And this is true. This is not an exaggeration. You know, I run an influencer boxing, Happy Punch. We represent fighters that do boxing. I have all my staff. I have YouTubers and content creators that we represent business-wise with brand deals and stuff like that. And then I run Drama, right? So I have to get on the phone with different content creators to validate stories or get people's takes so I can, inject that into the story to make sure that like what I'm reporting and what I'm talking about is accurate and have a full perspective, right? How all this business operates, right, between content creator and content creator is like Twitter DMs. It's like a tweet, yo, DM me. Yo, let's hop on a phone call. When we're talking about contracts and stuff.
Yeah, Koila, fuck you. Yeah, Richie, I agree with you. I'm kind of on DSP side a little bit here. Keem kind of got in his feelings, but I kind of, can you understand Keem's side of things though? KEEMSTAR is who he is. He's been notorious. Some people don't like him, whatever. But he's also in this new sort of evolution in his career where he's basically managing people, getting people branded, as you're saying, and doing the whole boxing thing. But he's kind of a big deal in terms of business. He's made enough money now where people are kind of respecting him as a businessman and don't basically judging him on the drama alert stuff. He's kind of evolved. And he's evolved to the point where streamers in the past who would never speak to him now will speak to him because they know that he can put money in their pocket. Right? They know he's like somebody that's kind of reputable, somebody that you can kind of trust to do good business and can maybe help you out. So in Keem's mind, he can't fathom why he's able to get on the phone with Mr. Beast, why he can talk to PewDiePie, why he can talk to Markiplier, why he can talk to NKBHD, why he can talk to all these big YouTubers easily, but somehow DSP is the one that's giving him the runaround. That must be a bit of an ego killer as well. DSP, the guy begging his fans for giving money for groceries. The guy begging for his fans to give him money so he can take his wife out for dinner 1 day a week or something. The guy begging for people to buy money for his day off. The guy begging for tips to pay his bills is the one that's giving him the runaround. The guy that only recently upgraded his streaming equipment, even though he said he's been in streaming for 15, 17 years, all that nonsense. That's the guy that's giving the runaround. I can understand why he's so pissed off. It's like, it's like when, it's a bad analogy, but I guess it's like when some guys get annoyed if like an ugly girl says no. It's like, how dare you? You're ugly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say no. It kind of hurts more. But I'm kind of on DSP side a little bit. I can see it both ways. DSP's sticking with it. DSP is basically saying, I don't like you to the point where I'm willing to sacrifice 50,000 because I don't like you as a person. I think you're disgusting. And I don't want anything to do with it. Even if you offer it. Basically, DSP saying there's no amount of money, regardless of how down bad he is, there's no amount of money he'll take from Keem. You have to respect that. It's a bit rich coming from him because he takes advantage of his really vulnerable audience, but at least he's standing on something. Right? At least he's standing on something.
Stuff. Then you have lawyers, you have managers, they're in emails, emailing each other back and forth. But the content creators, which we are both content creators, we are on the same level. I'm not higher than you. You're not higher than me. We have a mutual respect as content creators. We should be able to be in Twitter DMs and then get on a phone call. And you didn't treat me like that. You treated me like dirt. This is not about me thinking I'm God. This is about how you treated me in those Twitter DMs.
Keem, I gave you the times to call. You called at different times, and we never had another interaction ever again. How was I disrespectful to you?
So when they asked me, is this opportunity, still available? When I say maybe, because like I don't know how I could work with you. You are very, very difficult to work with, to even communicate with firsthand.
Because I didn't drop everything to talk to you, I'm difficult to communicate with, even though I have
what are you dropping?
Publicly listed ways to contact me.
Please explain to me what you're dropping. Like what is so important that's happening that you can't get on a phone call with me?
My work, my job. I'm here 6 days a week, full-time streaming to make a living.
But this job that I'm about to offer you would pay wildly more and solve all these problems that you have going on.
First of all, you don't know what it's going to solve. That's a huge assumption. Second of all, I didn't know what the thing was because you never told me. You didn't call at the time you were supposed to.
Didn't Boogie give you?
We are going in a loop. You're right.
It's happened a lot on this episode so far.
Right. So look, I think let's leave it here. Right. A bridge has been gapped. You know, we brought a bridge together, right? I don't know if something's going to come from this with Keem and Phil, and there's obviously still friction there, and that's fine. But I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to talk, and I think more than anything, Phil, you're learning more about, business in 2022, 2023, and how interactions, and the importance of being quick and nimble and things like that along here. Because that's, in reality, that's how business works now. So
let me put it this way: if it weren't Keem, because again, I already had a negative association in my head of who Keem is. I had really very little interest in doing any work with him. If it was someone else, maybe I would have. But that's the association I had. I had a moral issue working with the guy, so it wasn't a big deal to me that he was reaching out to me.
Before I leave, because I'm pretty much done, I've expressed everything that I want.
I appreciate it, Kim.
Can I give you some criticism?
Bill, is that okay?
Yeah, because I came in saying that I'd be respectful and I wouldn't dunk on you or any of that stuff, but I do have some criticism that I desperately want to express to you.
As long as it's respectful, it's not,
I'm going to do this in the most respectful way, and then I'll go. And of course you can respond, but I don't condone people harassing you, people doxing you, people going into your private, life and doing all this horrible stuff that they've done. But I believe the reason why this has happened is because people don't trust you.
Yeah.
You don't come across as trustworthy.
Exactly.
So when you're on stream and you're asking to pay utilities and rent and all that stuff, the audience is getting frustrated and they look at you like you're a scammer and they want to know where this money is going.
Exactly.
Well, how is he always in this situation?
Exactly.
What is he spending his money on?
Exactly.
And that is the motivation to dive into your personal life.
Exactly.
You had an opportunity on this show, and I watched it, to just pull up the screenshot and show the WWE account, and you didn't do it. Your internet cut off. At that point, when your internet cut off and you were DDoSed and you were gone off stream, the opportunity is now gone. It's gone.
Exactly.
Because while your internet was out, you could have made a fake screenshot. All right. You're never, ever going to be able to prove what your WWE account was or is ever again, because people will say he just photoshopped it. He just made it up. You're never going to be able to prove that.
Anyway.
Exactly.
You had one opportunity
you didn't take
to do it right away with these guys, and that was it. And you didn't take advantage of it, because I personally, watching it, and so did the audience, thought that you were lying.
Exactly.
And if you are lying,
you are lying.
If it's true, and you're not being honest, if I were you, this is the best advice I could give you, right? Is just be like, look, this was my account. This is that. I would ask for a clean slate, and I would do things different, because this restarting level 1 over and over and over again is the root of all your problems, if that makes any sense.
I appreciate the input. It's not true, so I'm not going to do that. I appreciate the input. If it were true, I would fess up to it.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate the input. I'm going to stay here on level 1. I'm okay begging. Thank you so much, KEEMSTAR. Go fuck off now. Let me beg in peace. This is like when you give a homeless person a sandwich and they chuck it in your face. Like, fuck off, man. Who wants that fucking sandwich? Give me money. Give me money. You know what I want the money for. Don't give me a sandwich. Don't patronize me. Don't try and, figure out what my needs and wants are. Give me the cash and let me buy what I want with it. That's what DSP is saying. Let me beg in peace. If my dents want to give me money and I like begging, what's your problem? That's what you should really say. If they don't mind being scammed and I'm okay scamming them, what is your issue? It's not like a Logan Paul thing with CryptoZoo. This is people willingly knowing that he's flipping scamming them and him being okay to be scammed. That's what he's doing. Come on, DSP. Lean into it, mate. Say, I'm a scammer. So what? Just say it, DSP. DSP, say it. Say it. Come on.
Guys, thank you guys so much for having me on.
KEEMSTAR, thanks. Appreciate it, man. I'll appreciate you hopping on. Really appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right. Hey, Phil, you've been throwing curveballs today, which I did not see coming. All right. I did not see them coming at all. But
Story of my life, Craig. Story of my life.
Hey, yeah. I appreciate you.
Still being here.
Do you want to keep going? I've got till around 4 p.m. We could keep going. If you have more questions, I'm down for it.
So,
hold on.
Let me say this.
It's
reached
almost
out.
10 p.m. for me, and I haven't had dinner, and so I can't go much longer.
Give us 15 minutes. Let's go 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Good. And if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Once again, we We stream Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. We have some great interviews coming up. Once again, Mark the Cyborg, James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, coming up. So make sure you guys are here for those. We'd really appreciate it. Once again, you can follow us over on Twitter at SidescrollerPod. You can follow me at, you can see down there, and Adam as well. And obviously DarksydePhil as well. Okay, so Phil, I reached out. We only have like 15 more minutes. And once again, I appreciate everybody hopping in, being a part of the day, being a part of the stream, and all your super chats have been amazing. I want to let you know that we will definitely take a look at them. I don't think we're going to read them on stream, but during our post show over at patreon.com/sidescrollers, we'll bring Blabs and Travis in, and we'll continue on while so Adam can go get some food. But I wanted to play some audio. This is actually, I reached out to several of your
Yeah, exactly, Fly Society. It's irritating because most people don't have the opportunity that DSP has, and he squanders them. But that's why I'm a big believer in sometimes the worst people make it. This whole idea about karma and, you know, retribution and stuff coming back around. Nah, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes the worst people ever, you know, they're okay. They sleep like a baby.
Tractors, Phil. And I thought it would be fair to allow them
my God.
to ask
Oh
questions.
my God.
So I wanted to play this for you, and
this is gonna be amazing.
And we'll just kind of go from there. Okay,
it's gonna be amazing.
Does that sound good?
Sure, fire away.
Are you okay with that?
Sounds good.
I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're saying, obviously. So,
well, this is from It's a Gundam. Are you familiar with that name?
I'm familiar with the name, and I'm definitely familiar with the voice.
Okay, well, you're gonna know the voice. So here you go. This is a question from him.
Hey there, Philly cheesesteak. Guess who it is? Your favorite YouTuber. We're best friends. Remember that time you thought it'd be funny to put a restraining order on me, Philbert? Well, Philly, my question is, what the hell did you spend $500,000 on? You didn't pay off your house. You didn't pay off the condo. You didn't pay off any car you own. You're in debt. Where did the money go? Why did you take business loans? What did you use the business loan money for? You never improved your content. You've been using the same camera for nigh on 5,000 years. If it wasn't for, like, the Dutch brothers sending you a new web camera or, like, LEDs in the background, you'd have no ideas. Where'd the money go? You're like a politician in San Francisco. If I went to the man, I said, Mayor of San Francisco, where did all that money go, that $120 million you defunded the police with and put it to black communities? Where did it go? You know, Phil, you screwed up. You never should have been a YouTuber. You should have been a politician in San Francisco.
Exactly.
You would have gotten away with it, baby. If it wasn't for those meddling detractors.
Is it going to end at some point?
It's actually not too late. I mean, politicians tend to be older.
Look at this.
Look, that was a
Look
long
how angry he
question.
is.
I think my first question after that is,
I think we handled that.
Where did the money
already. We
go?
talked about that shit.
Well, but the 500,000. That's the first I've heard of that figure. Where is that?
No,
coming from,
I mentioned it earlier. We talked about it, and
Could be the bankruptcy. I'm not sure.
And I asked him, and if it was the bankruptcy, and I think that's
Look how angry he is.
Okay. Have you taken out any business loans? And if so, what were they used for?
Business loans? No. Everything, all that debt that got written off was credit cards.
Oh, this is amazing.
You know, now I'm trying to think. Oh, I had personal loans, not business loans. I've never taken out any kind of loan officially in the name of the business or anything like that.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Okay. Is there anything else, like, you know, I don't know, very rarely do you have an opportunity to kind of interact with...
Did he used to be on the Howard Stern show? His voice is so familiar to me. He used to be, was he that clown guy? Seriously, he sounds just like him. He sounds just like him. Now, I don't know. He's one of the many detractors who make videos about me. I've literally never watched a video of his.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Do you think that by not watching his videos, you're like...
Big up Iron Sin.
Inputting a restraining order on that cat and Cheeks. Where'd the money go? Oh.
Pick up I am Sin. But the super chat. I'm not recognizing any more of these comments. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm not recognizing this slander. We're just going to keep pressing play. No more slander will be tolerated in this space. This is a safe zone.
You think that if you were to spend time
here. No spin. Oh, wow. What happened there? It ended.
Watching their videos, you'd be able to react, and you have a reaction channel. Don't you think there's an entire niche market of you reacting to negative content about yourself?
Perhaps in the future, yes. Now that I'm doing that, it's only been in operation for a month. It's something that I would consider dabbling in the future. The thing is, there is something with these detractors. The more attention you give them, just the worse it gets. It eggs them on to do more. So my opinion is people are not coming to my channel to see this. They don't care about that. They want to see gameplay. They want to see whatever. I don't want to inundate them with that stuff, so I don't address it. You know?
Okay. I was going to say a new show idea, the detractor reactor.
Yeah, maybe that should be something we do. A whole
pretty good
show where I react to
I've given you 2 good show names so far.
I did react to the original This Is How You Don't Play last year. So just want to talking 2 sides of the fence of how it's completely unfair how I'm treated. The guy tried to take it off the internet, so I couldn't react to it. Everyone else had done it, but when I went to do it myself, no, you can't do that.
Because no one likes you,
What are you
DSP.
talking about? It's fair use. You
got to download it. Got to download it next time.
Well,
So-
someone gave it to me, so.
Can we talk about that though, real quick? Have you ever tried to remove reactive content for your business that people have reacted from?
Reactive content. So you're saying someone actually watching my content and reacting to it.
Or just posted clips of it?
The only time that I have tried to ever take anyone down was straight up ripping the raw content and illegally reposting it with absolutely no transformative work whatsoever added to it. The moment that someone's there and they're talking about it, that's transformative. I know, because everyone does it. There's a judge that made a ruling on that. The only way that really legally you should be able to take anything down is if they just right now, if they rip this raw podcast from side scrollers and put it on their channel, no context, no commentary, that's illegal. Everything else is fine. So no, I've never tried to do that at all to anything that's reactive content or reacting content like that. No.
So I understand that, right? And technically, legally, you are.
I don't know what pictures are. I do not know what this term of pictures in the chat. I have no idea what a picture is or how people take pictures. Pictures are foreign to me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Correct, right? But this goes back to this is the internet, and the internet. I know that people are going to take this episode and if I'm sure Gundam and Keem and all sorts of people are going to go and they're going to make content based off of this content. But ultimately, and we could get upset about that because legally, right? But ultimately, that's going to help the show. That will benefit side scrollers because more people know about side scrollers, right? So,
Exactly.
I just feel like I've kind of zeroed in on what's happening. Like, Phil, the internet has changed, and you haven't necessarily changed with the internet over, whether it's the things that we've talked about today. And so there's big opportunity for you to adapt and change with the internet. You've changed some formats, you've changed some, changed your content and such, but the internet still is adapting, and it's adapting literally exponentially fast. And it's something that, needs to be done if you're going to be, a relevant content producer online. And I don't know. I would just love to hear your thoughts on that. That's just a reoccurring theme that I've heard today.
Well, of course, what I'm going to say is, today I've changed and I'm much different. He said that a million times already on the show, right? I mean, I really am trying to be
It's not
different.
funny. That wasn't funny.
Criticism and being open, like the React
you.
stuff I'm doing right now that I just started doing last month. That's something I was so against for so many years. And that's a running pattern with me. I'm stupid. I'm ignorant. I say dumb stuff. Then someone finally says, "Hey, Phil, wake up, stupid head. Check this out." And actually, there is some meaning to doing that. You can add context. You can add, your own perspective. You can make a React that's not just being dumb stuff, but instead intelligent content. And now I know that. I need to keep doing that. I feel like I'm getting better at it. It's a work in progress, just like everything in life. And with any person who's trying to grow or evolve, it's a work in progress for me to become more open-minded. I feel I'm a lot better at walking in other people's shoes now. I'm a lot better at listening to other perspectives.
No,
and
you're not.
Suggestions for improvement. You're right.
No, you're not.
I need to adapt and be open-minded to change in the future. Correct.
Phil, I gotta say, it took a lot of balls to come on the show and handle the questions.
If anything, that's the one actual positive thing I hear is that Phil never gives up. Phil is the unbreakable rock that the waves crash against, and he's still gonna be here at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put up with all of it, and I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm gonna keep making content. I'm not gonna give up on it. I love it. It's my passion. It really is my passion. Best job I've ever had, and I'm happy to be here with you guys and be honest with you as much as I could. Thank you. You guys.
We want you to go away. We want you to go away.
It was a great opportunity, at least to get my perspective out there. Thank you.
Well, and we appreciate you coming on. We still got a few more minutes because I want Adam to be able to get food. But is there anything that you feel that you need to touch on before we leave, before we part today? Is there
There's so much. I mean, we could go on for hours and hours. The things people have said about me grooming my ex-girlfriend. Is
that
ridiculous.
what you want to focus on, though? He asked you specifically. Is there anything that you want to bring up?
Okay, well, let's do this. Phil, would you be open to coming back on again?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool. We could do like a part 2, and just kind of hit on more of those things, right? Because I want to be conscious of everybody's time. All right, well, let's do this. We'll schedule a part 2 for some time down the line, right? And
it's gone.
Get you on for a part 2. But in the meantime, what is the one thing that you wish you could address right now that we haven't addressed today?
Oh my gosh. Well,
the first thing you just said was that grooming shit. Like, what's up with that? Because I don't like it.
It's blatantly false. It's my ex I met. She contacted me. I never contacted her. She contacted
I don't care about this Pandalese shit.
My personal life.
Fuck off.
Public. Right? But, make him look like a good guy on the internet, right? Which is what they've done. My detractors have actually done this. They've gone into her personal life with her family. She has nothing to do with me or my content. Stop. If you're going to mess with me, that's one thing. Leave my family, leave my everyone out of it. Make fun of me. Put the brunt on me. It's one of my biggest regrets as a content creator. I never meant for anyone to get hurt doing this. Never. I feel awful that my wife every day is feeling awful about things going on. Like, why are they saying these things about her? She has nothing to do with any of this. Leave her
horse
out of it,
lady,
right?
horse lady, horse lady, crocodile tears. He's trying to cry, but there's no tears coming out because he's a faker.
Fuck him. If anything, you will never, ever, 1,000,000%, you will never find someone on the internet saying that Phil was in a sex scandal, Phil was abusive to women in the past. I have never done that in my life. 1,000,000%. But they want to say it, and it really irks me the wrong way. So.
I understand. All right. Well, look, I think this is a great place to stop.
Okay.
Like I said, let's definitely. I'll email you.
I
won't DM you. I promise. I'll email you, and we'll set up a part 2. I think that there's still a lot to cover, but I know that I speak for everybody when I say we appreciate your time, we appreciate your patience, we appreciate taking the time to allow us to kind of poke and prod. And I know you I had no intentions of this being like an interrogation interview. Hopefully you didn't feel like it was an interrogation interview.
Did. Yeah, you did.
But hopefully you feel like we were fair. Because I feel like I said, I try to be fair to me, fair to whoever we're interviewing, and fair to the audience. So hopefully you feel that was the case.
I do. Ultimately, I would hope that once, we've had all these episodes of the interrogation, that I can just be a normal guest. I love you guys, man. I used to be a huge Screw Attack fan back in the day. You were playing a video 2 days ago of a MagFest where we're peeing on Shaq Fu. I was in that video. That's how long I've been a fan of Screw Attack. I just want to chill with you guys and have a normal show. I don't want your whole show to be the DarksydePhil show.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get to that point. I love it for sure. Well, once again, if you guys are new...
The way he's like, I don't want any part of you on my normal show, brother. You're only good for the views.
Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're going to end the stream here. Once again, make sure you guys subscribe for part 2. But we're going to continue.
Before we end, hold on. I just want to say to everyone who supported today, thank you so much. I don't know how we're going to handle it. We've been going for 5 hours. This is... I had no idea what to expect. It's pretty crazy, but I really do want to say thank you to everyone out there who, whether you know our show or not, this is kind of like what they just said. It's not what our show is. We shoot the shit about video games, talk about weird cultural stuff. It's a lot of fun. I feel like Craig and Phil were talking, and Craig wanted to give Phil a platform to basically make your piece. So I don't know when number 2 will be, but normally we read all our super chats throughout it, and it didn't feel appropriate to do that today because I'm sure there's a lot of them that are probably really good super chats, but there's probably a lot of them that are really would throw things to the side. We know about everything that is going on the internet. I feel like Craig did a fantastic job of putting questions together. That was his journalism degree, by the way. I mean, fantastic. He actually used it for the first time in his life. Congratulations, by the way, Craig.
All right, nice.
So thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate you all. All right, please continue, Craig.
Yeah, and once again, we're going to continue with our post show over on. And Phil, you can bounce whenever you like. But we're going to
I'll stick around, man. Listen, support good people making good content. These are good people. Your other hosts are good people. I would love to do a post show with you guys too if you want.
He's so lonely, isn't
I'm here.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we're continue the post show over there, over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. You guys can go over there.
No, I'm good, man. Fuck the Patreon. Fuck him. Fuck all of them. Yeah, that's it. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been too long. But yeah, big up everybody that's in the stream chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna hop off now. It's been too long. This has taken up a lot of my time, but it's been fun to laugh at DSP. Shout out to everybody who's hanging out and joined in. I appreciate every single one of you. Big up all of you that joined in. Let me quickly read out some names here before I decide to bounce and be on my way. Or who do we have here? We have Netrunner, of course. Big up K-Sod Moses, Domo Creole. Big up, who else is on here? I Am Sin, of course, for bullying me the whole time. Big up Richie, of course. Big up Seven Sins Music, Ricky Picture, Apophysis. Who else is on here? Fly Society, Brad Guy, El Cars Data Node. Who else is on here? Domo Creole, of course, I said before. I can't see any more of the names. I think that's it, right? So far I can see. But big up everyone else joining. Of course, Coiler that was here earlier. All of you. Big up everybody. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you again very soon. And hopefully hang out again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace. It's been a pleasure. Never a chore. See you again very soon. Take care.